You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Hey, folks, welcome to the Beans and Dice podcast, Thursday night live call-in show. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Carlos.
That's it. No, wait, Rob.
Oh, wait, there's James Odak.
Oh, he's in the chat.
He's in the chat.
We got a third. There's
three of us.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, we got more than that.
It's just us two suckers tonight. Welcome to the show.
Back to the OG.
Yeah, I know we had a hiatus last week for work.
Yeah.
But I am back.
Yeah, a little snafu with that. Wade and I kind of had talked through it. We were like, a couple hours before the show, we were like, you know what, let's just take the week off. And then I guess Carlos went ahead and set it up. We didn't communicate, so, oh well. Sorry about that.
It was a crazy week for work for me.
Yeah.
So last week I was in the great state of Alabama. Took a road trip up there for some work stuff, and it was some very technical work, very difficult work, and it went a lot longer than I thought. So I felt like I was out of communication for a lot of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like leaving the office that I was working at temporarily and heading back to the hotel. And I'm like, oh crap, forgot to schedule the show. And I'm just like, I'm not even looking at communications or anything.
I didn't even think to put something out there to you. I figured you were leaving it up to us. So
I sent a message. I'm like, hey guys, the show is set up. I'm sorry I'm late. Like, by the way, we're not doing it. I'm like, oh, my bad.
And there's people sitting in the waiting room waiting for the show to start. So sorry about that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh well.
But it was a great trip.
Yeah, good
so
trip,
I got to go to Alabama for the first time. I went to the city of Birmingham.
You don't fly, so you drive. Yeah.
I will say this.
Yeah.
On the way out from Tampa,
Okay.
wifey and I were driving out, and I think we hit like Alabama, like we're making and heading towards Alabama.
Okay.
And we find out that an airplane in Orlando had caught fire on its way to taxi out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for these reasons.
Everybody was okay.
You know?
They had to jump on the little bouncy slide and get on out, but,
8 or 9 hours of driving, I can do
you're
that.
okay with that?
I can do that.
You're better than I am then.
It's the flying that freaks me out.
Yeah. Well,
But I did take a game with me.
okay.
I had intended to play my copy of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Brass Birmingham.
Brass Birmingham. Yep.
In Birmingham. That was
Birmingham,
my
Alabama.
goal. But work took the entire trip. Like the entire week of the work was just work.
No chance to fit in a 3-hour game? No.
I'd get back to the hotel afterwards, and my brain was so beat. Like you know that feeling, Robert. You've had these roles before.
You just want to sit and do nothing, just stare at the wall.
I watched even on the way on the drive, like I watched like 4 hours worth of how to plays, like to remind myself, and I'm reading the rules,
All ready for it.
Ready, and then I get there and I'm just like, okay, no, my brain's not gonna work tonight. But I can now say my copy of Brass Birmingham has been in Birmingham.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say I left it in Birmingham. I was like, no, you didn't. My copy of Brass Birmingham is still in Birmingham. Yeah.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah, there you go. Left it in Birmingham. No, okay.
No, it has been through Birmingham.
Been through Birmingham. Okay, it's better.
So it stayed a few nights in Birmingham.
All
I
right.
will get it played.
Okay.
At least I have that achievement for the game.
You should do that soon. At least get it played.
Now, what I didn't bring with me, and I should have, was my copy of Thunder Alley. Because after we left Birmingham, we on the way out, we stopped at the zoo for the kids. Spent a couple hours at the zoo in Birmingham. Beautiful zoo, beautiful city, Birmingham, Alabama. It's like in the mountains almost, so it's very hilly, very mountainy.
I don't know if I've been there.
A lot of trees, beautiful. But on the way out, I drove by Talladega.
Yeah, of course you did.
Dega, as they call it.
Dega.
And as on my way through Talladega, they're preparing for I can't remember the name of the race right now, but the 500.
It's got
the Talladega 500.
Whoever sponsored it now, but yeah.
Right. So they were getting all that prepared on the interstate. You can see huge flags, all the flags that they have out there, the racing flags.
Yeah.
And Talladega was there. We pulled over. So I didn't go to the track itself because it wasn't open to the general public. You got to have a ticket to go into there.
Oh, yeah.
But I did go to the vendors, and I got me a nice hat. Ford, baby.
Got a
That's me.
Pennzoil, nice,
I'm a Ford guy.
Number 22.
Number 22, which is also my birthday.
Who races the 22 now?
Joey Logano.
Oh, Logano. Oh, that's right.
Logano,
Yeah.
number 22, who raced and got fifth place. His first
not
fifth
bad.
place.
At Talladega?
This year.
Oh, this year?
This season,
Oh,
he
okay.
has not gotten anything better than fifth, than like sixth.
That's surprising.
Right.
Yeah.
That is. He's the reigning champion right
Yep.
now. But then he promptly got disqualified. So after the race,
Great finish and not.
I was so proud. Like I bought the hat, and he got a top 5 finish. And then I woke up in the morning DQ'd.
Well, now you got a hat for the DQ'd guy, so that's a thing.
But I should have brought Thunder Alley with me
Oh,
because
you
that would have
should've.
been cool. Because I've taken Thunder Alley to Daytona.
Talladega's just an oval, right?
A super speedway, 2.6 something miles.
Okay,
like
well,
Daytona.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was gonna say they don't have the official tracks in Thunder Alley,
Yeah.
but they've got you know what they are.
They
You
got a
can look at them
trioval.
and be like, yeah, exactly.
There's a trioval.
Trioval. Yeah.
Talladega was beautiful. Made it all the way to Atlanta. Rode through Ron Frazier's stomping ground.
Oh, nice.
I had Ron's shirt on,
Okay.
so I had his.
Anybody recognize you?
No, because
okay.
we got in pretty late into Atlanta.
Yeah.
And immediately left Atlanta that next morning. I stayed at my cousin's house, visited with my cousin that evening.
Okay.
I was hoping that if I had time, I can call or reach out to Ron to say hi.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But I had his shirt.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's
you see,
something. Yeah. You wore
I
a
bring
shirt.
gaming stuff with me. I just don't get to do as much gaming as I'd
You
like.
think ahead. Yeah. I do it on the fly, but yeah.
And then we headed up to Dahlonega, Georgia.
Okay.
There's a military college up there that Julian applied for.
Good luck spelling that.
Dahlonega.
Is that how you do it? Delanega. Okay. All right.
It's a beautiful part of Georgia, like close to Tennessee, like in the mountains.
Yeah. I know it's out there.
It's an old mining town, so we spent the morning in there, had some coffee, visited the shops. It's like a beautiful little bed and breakfast type place for couples.
Oh, nice. All right.
But there's also the military college there, and Julian applied.
Okay.
So we're hoping to hear back. If he gets accepted, that'll be where he goes to university.
Sweet.
We figured we'd pop by. We were in the area.
When are we gonna know?
I don't know. I'm waiting on it. He
Okay, just whenever.
uploaded his SAT scores and finished up his classes that he needed to take. Graduates this from high school
Nice.
this month. So a lot of fun. Made it back to Florida. Stopped by Brett's house on the way down.
did you?
You know
Okay.
Brett, so I got to say hi to Brett, play with some cows,
Yep.
and made it home safe. That was my trip.
Nice.
It was a beautiful trip. Not a lot of gaming.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think any gaming.
No giving at all.
No.
Not even a little pocket.
I brought my. You know what? I'll show you my
had to have
gaming
brought a little-
stash.
yeah. You probably still have it all packed together, right? So I know you brought some pocket games. You always do. Something for the backpack. Something for the.
All right, so let me show y'all my gaming stash.
Lost
So when I
Cities box,
travel,
that's a good start.
It is in my Lost Cities box. This
Yeah.
little travel box right here, very
Okay.
small.
Like it so
But
far.
inside the box, of course, Lost Cities, with the 6th expansion, the new edition.
Okay.
So I have that nice and sleeved, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have for 3 or more players. I've got a copy of Trio. This is very small deck right here.
Yeah.
Real easy to take with you. Then for the bigger party groups, I have my copy of No Thanks. So No Thanks is in here with all the
Great game.
plastic pips.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you want to get some Yahtzee style game, the Art of Dr. K, Wanakrisia,
Oh, okay.
Art of War,
Mhm.
Art of
Great
War,
game.
right?
Yes. Right.
Art of War.
Yeah. Art of War, I think. Yeah. Mhm.
So that's in a little baggie in there. And then if I want to play more tactical 2-player game, I got a copy of Dr. K. Again, Wanakrisia.
Theme here.
Is this all Dr. K?
It can't be. Is
Lost Cities, is that Dr. K?
Is No Thanks?
Yeah, Dr. K.
It is. Yeah. Is
Lost
No
Cities?
Thanks?
No Thanks is not.
Okay,
I don't think
it
that's
is.
Dr. K. It's up there, Robert, if you want to check the box. Trio is not. Okay, but a lot of these games are Dr.
Yeah.
K. That's
there's a thing there.
interesting.
I don't even know if this. It
doesn't give a name. But that's my little box that I take with me, Robert. I think it's a good sized box. It fits all these games.
Yeah, that's
And-
it. Like I say, I have great set of games there. I would say even I don't know if these are limited, but you could probably even if you in a
They
pinch,
are limited because you get a number per
Oh, that's right.
player.
Okay, but you could substitute those for whatever you have
Coins,
handy when you
anything.
get there. Yeah, so you could even if you needed to downsize a bit, you could get rid of that and just take the deck. But
Oh, and
yeah.
I hit Bucky's.
Oh, of course.
hate
Buc-ee's is
Buc-ee's.
great. My wife and kids don't like Buc-ee's. They're like, that's just like a big place that's like too many people. And I'm like, oh,
I
that
tell
place
you
is
what,
great.
Bucky's is kind of like going to Walmart at midnight.
Oh yeah,
The clientele,
yeah. It's
so random.
It draws
It's-
everybody there, man.
and because it is a gas station.
Big giant gas station.
People are coming through on their road trips.
Yeah.
So nobody's dressed like appropriately. Like everybody's wearing
The
pajamas
pajama
or
bottoms and decent top and a pajama bottom, just because nobody's gonna see that in the car. So who cares?
that's my little travel box, and that was my week last week. And
Nice. Yeah.
that practically ended April for me.
Nice.
I know tonight we're talking about our top 20 boards. We're going to update those for you here.
Yep.
So Robert and I will do that for you now. We'll open up the phone lines around 9:30-ish because I don't think we have a ton of games to play. Let's see. In the chat, we got James Odak. He says, found on road dead. I think he's talking about my Ford.
Okay.
Ford.
Gotcha.
I see what he did there.
Found on road dead. Got it. All caps. That's
Fixed
it.
or repaired daily. Says
okay,
Chester
so-
Wilson and
So that's a thing now. All right. So how many more things can we get out of Ford? Yeah.
I like my Ford. Okay, I went to the Ford Racing School.
You did?
Yeah, I had a great time. Utah played no games.
No games there either.
No, but we did play games in the month of April.
Racing school is it's kind of a game, but we
Yeah,
did.
it is kind of a game.
I didn't play as many as I hoped. I think I only played 6 games in April.
Robert, you want to lead us on your board?
Yeah, I can. I only had 6 plays, and a couple of them were repeats. But let me grab my list here real quick. I had it just a second ago. Here we go. I'll go kind of a backwards order. So just this last weekend, I got to attend about half of a game day, and first thing we played was Pirates of Maracaibo. This is a game I really enjoy. The full I say I enjoy. I've actually until now had only played Maracaibo, which was the original game, and then Pirates of Maracaibo, which is it's a different game. I'll say it operates kind of differently, although it's got the same theme, it's got the same iconography. Just the mechanics are a little different. It's definitely a Pirates of Maracaibo is a lighter, faster, family-friendlier version of the full-blown Maracaibo. And there's debate out there on that. When Pirates came out, they changed the artwork. Like I say, it streamlined some things, made the game faster. You can play Pirates of Maracaibo if you know how to play. You could probably do it in pushing 30 minutes. I think 45 minutes is probably a good, comfortable amount, but you can do it in under an hour, even with 4 players. But I got a chance to play that. Daryl taught me, I guess where I was going with that is Daryl brought it, and there were a couple people that were already interested, so I snuck in the 4th and final place there to play. And I had played Pirates, I think 2 or 3 times on BGA, Board Game Arena. I played the original Maracaibo on there probably close to 10 times now. And I'm definitely a heavier gamer, and I like Pirates of Maracaibo. I like what it does. I like that if I only have 45 minutes that I can play it. It gives me the same feels. It's the same pirate theme. Definitely a Euro pirate-themed game, but I still like the original. I know there's some debate out there, and a lot of people are on the Pirates of Maracaibo. It's definitely no question that it's lighter, it's family-friendly, it's easier to teach, it's quicker to play, but I like the meatiness of the full going all the way around the Caribbean, dropping people off so that I can go visit them and get advantages, collecting a bunch of stuff, and then finding places to use it or to sell it or whatever. So, but Pirates of Maracaibo was my last play. That was last weekend. And then what did I play?
So it's not making the board at all?
It is not going to make the board. I had a struggle here, so I was looking when I got here tonight. And at the bottom of my board right now, at number 20, is Guild of Merchant Explorers, which we've talked about that one quite a bit. And then just above that is Rebirth. And so I struggled a little bit because I haven't played any of those games, so I can't reorganize them. But to be honest, Pirates of Maracaibo probably would sneak in for just a few minutes onto my 20 spot. But then to do that, I think at this point, now that I've had time to reflect on Rebirth, which I played once and only once last month, or a month ago, so back in March, I think Rebirth would fall off my list, and it would go below Guild of Merchant Explorers, and then Pirates of Maracaibo would probably sneak on at 20. But I'm going to have one game, only one, that's going to make my list as a new play this year, and that is going to be, actually, I'll just jump right to it, Min Nefer. So that's a game that we talked about. I mentioned the play of it, was it 2 shows ago? I forget now since we took last week off. It's got me all confused on that. It was either the last show that we did or the show before that. And I really enjoyed this. I played this at another second Saturday game day, so it was the second Saturday this month. And it's a big sprawling game, big board. It's a long teach. I mean, the teach was a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes to kind of teach it and kind of take our first turns and get it going. I love, though, and I'm really looking forward to playing it again, I love the fact that even though there's a lot going on, and I think I explained this on the show before, it definitely does funnel you down in what your choices are. So even though there's a board and there's like 6 little mini games going on, and you have 3 different choices of what kind of actions you want to do each turn, the game of those 3 actions, the game really funnels you down to just a couple of choices. So if you know this time I'm going to either place a worker on the board, I've only got 4 options on my board. When I pick it up off of my board, wherever I pick it up from is going to dictate the thing that I do this turn, the action that I take. Once you've got those off, you've got another action where you can take the little action tiles on your board and place those over and replace them with another one that's on a cascading, flowing system. And so you've only got, I think it's 6 of those to choose from. So when you do that, you've got kind of a fairly limited number, and you're looking at you can rule a couple of those out immediately. You can say, I don't need that. I'm not taking that path, so I'm not even going to look at that one. So usually you've got 2 or 3 there that you're kind of juggling that you're trying to figure out what to do. So I really like that part of the game, that even though it's a big game, there's a lot going on, to understand each of the little mini games and what each of them do and how they combo and how they get you points is kind of hard to grasp. You really can just choose maybe 1 or 2 things that you want to do, focus in, and get points that way. And again,
enough points though, without having to go everywhere.
Probably not. If you're trying to win, but as far as learning it and learning how the game works, I think it does a good job there. So even though it's kind of hard to explain, even though it's a big teach, and to try to go through it, because you need to tell everybody, this is how this works, this is what you're doing over here, this is the game that's going on over here. You kind of need to understand all those, so as things come up, you know where to go, what you're trying to do. But once you kind of lock in on a couple of things that you want to do, I think Wayne would really like this, because Wayne tends to be somebody who locks in on 1 or 2 things. He pounds the heck out of them, gets all those points, and so I think this is a game that he would like, because, again, I think you could do pretty well that way. To really, though, if you really know the game and you start seeing those combos, there are definitely combos to be had, and you can combo things from one to another to another. I think that's where the game probably really shines, is once you really played it. Probably, I think some of the people who had played it 2 or 3 times said, yeah, it takes a good 2 or 3 plays before you really kind of start seeing how everything links up.
How many hours per play?
I want to say that with our teach and play, I want to say we were around 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. So it's definitely a long game. It's I'd say once you know it, you're probably still at 4 players, which I think is the full player count. You're not doing it probably in less than 2 to 2.5 hours, even once you know the game. But a learning game, you probably need to plan on 3+ for sure to get it. But it's one of those games, I'll tell you, that the time flew. There were people at other tables that we saw finishing games and picking them up and then reorganizing and putting down new games and playing them. And I was blown away, I should say, at least at the end, to see that some people had already played 2 or 3 games and we'd only played 1 game, because the time kind of flew by as we were playing it. So,
is the juice worth the squeeze?
I think so. And for heavier gamers, I'm really finding that people are liking it, in our game group at least. I haven't seen a whole lot about it now that I think about it online. So when I look at the YouTube,
I'm not familiar with the game, and I have not heard of it before.
Yeah.
When you were first talking about it, I thought you were just trying to say mother.
Oh yeah, something about
wasn't
it.
sure what
actually, but who knows?
Like MFer, what are we talking about?
Men Nefer, and I meant to at one point. I meant to go look and see what the history behind it. So it's MEN/Nefer, NEFER. I'm sure there is some. It's Egyptian, so I'm sure there's some.
We'll reach out to the chat there. Anybody in the chat can figure it out. Yeah. Post in what does Menefer mean. James Odak in the chat says Menefer. You need to abuse one of those mini games
probably
to win, he says.
Okay, so you can really lock in on one then, maybe. And again, the tiles kind of have to cascade your way a little bit, so there's probably a little bit of luck in that.
He said abuse.
Abuse it. Yeah. not just focus in, but abuse one. But yeah, he's probably right. I think if you
Egyptian for Memphis, Tennessee.
I don't know. Yeah, so it's the Egypt of Tennessee. I don't know if the Tennesseans are exactly. Got some pretty wrappings there on your
you got pretty lips
on your mummy. Yeah, some pretty wrappings on your mummy there.
All right, where's it gonna go? Menefer.
So this means Guild of Merchant Explorers is coming off.
I don't know. That hurts.
It does hurt. And Rebirth is going to slide down. And gosh, again, if I could flip them, I would flip them. But we got our rules here, so I'm going to stick with the rules.
Your daughter's chiming in here. M.E. Childers says,
"Hey, ahead, Mimi.
Also translates to lasting beauty.
Oh, she's got her computer
which
in front of her.
neither
honestly.
of us have.
No. Lasting beauty. That's probably more it. So, yeah, this is definitely set like on the Nile in Egypt. So,
Shout out to Emmy Childers out there.
yeah, she just came home. I was gonna say my excitement last week while you were traveling is I went and picked up my daughter from college, so she got finished up. Didn't have to take any finals this semester, which was cool. So had a couple big projects she had to turn in, but she got all that done early. So the other kids are up there.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, finishing up their finals this week, and she's at home chilling. So, anyways, we picked her up and brought her home. But anyway, so my gaming is hopefully going to increase. I told her to watch tonight because I was going to mention her. But my gaming is going to escalate in the next couple of months because of my gaming buddies back home. So good to see you, Emmy. But all right, MNF is going to make it. So I'm sliding Nucleum down to 19. I'm still
you're
going to
hurt some feelings.
Yeah, still not a huge fan of the Nucleum. I got to play it again, though. Wormspan definitely sliding down. Boone Lake, which is another game that Daryl taught me that I really enjoy. I'm going to slide down to the 17 spot. And now, again, we get to some tough ones. So it's hard to compare Mid-Neffer to draft and write records. I mean, you got a light, fun roll and write versus a big, heavy Euro. I'm going to put this above draft and write. I'm going to be acquiring a copy of that from Daryl very soon. So once I played it in person, this will have draft and write will have plenty of chance to move back up. Endeavor Deep Sea. Ooh, that's tough. Endeavor is good. The Deep Sea was
Deep
good.
Sea was good.
Yeah, I've played it twice now. I need to play it again. I'm going to put this at 15 for now. Mid-Neffer at 15.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Endeavors, so I'm going to put it there. Dune Imperium, that's where I was starting to look when I get to 13. Dune Imperium Bloodlines is there, and that's a big one. That's a big hill to climb. But Mid-Neffer, definitely opportunities to move up from 15 on my board, but that's where it's going to go right now.
All right, MNF number 15.
Yeah. I don't have any others to add, so I'll just shout out to a couple other games that I played.
No movement? Because anything that's already on the board that you played last month that you want to move?
I haven't. No, to be honest, I have not. So, again, my coming month hopefully is going to be a big gaming month, moving up for me for a couple different reasons. We got
Well, summer's coming. So I think it's our last month of school.
Yeah.
And then after this, I'll have 2 grown kids. And only one left in school.
Okay. Yeah.
Two young ones though.
Yeah, two still
eventually
coming
get to school.
Yeah, they'll get to school. But
I'm kind of high hoping.
take advantage of this time. So I played the Magnificent. I talked about that. I thought about sneaking Magnificent onto the bottom of my board, but I didn't complete that game.
You don't want to pull a Wayne.
Yeah.
Where you put it on just to take it off.
So no, but I only played 2/3 or 3/4 actually probably of that game. So it wasn't a complete play. So I didn't get to see how it finished and how the final scoring and stuff happened. So I didn't feel comfortable putting that on there. And then Wandering Towers was the other game that I played at the game day, and that's a memory-based game. Well, not memory-based. Memory's about 50% of it, and or can be. And I'm not a big fan of that type of game. Wandering Towers is a fun, light, quick family game, but not going to make my list. So
You said memory.
memory.
Yep, that's a tough one for you.
Yep.
All right, let's get into my April gameplays. I also did not play a lot of games, but I do have 4 that are coming onto the board.
You got a bunch over there.
So right off the bat, Castle Combo is coming off. Trio
coming off.
Yeah, Robert's okay with that.
Yeah.
Palm Island is coming off. This is the solitaire only game. And then Catan Jr. That game was up there because of the people I played it with.
Right.
Those kids were amazing.
Yep.
If y'all don't know,
One Voice.
One Voice. In January, Robert and I went out and played games with kids with cancer, and I had a great time watching young kids playing like sharks in Catan Jr.
They were.
They are very familiar with Catan Jr.
A couple of them very aggressive. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go in the order that I played things in the month of April. So starting at the beginning of April, I got to play some Lure. Lure is a 2 to 5 player bidding game by All Play. A small box, way up top.
Up there somewhere. Oh, I said up there.
Yeah, it's a small box bidding dice game. Push your luck. Try to catch as many fish as you can. Using as many dice as you're willing to bid, but whoever bids the least number of dice gets to roll first. If they catch all the fish in the lake before you do, they win.
Too bad.
Yeah, too bad. You can
Really?
bid a bunch of dice, but by the time it gets to your turn,
You got a luck.
there's no fish left.
So fish for nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Lure, I liked it.
We'll have to play sometime. I'll have to try it.
It's just it's a good board now. The board is getting
It's
tired.
getting hard.
I played some more Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game.
Somebody brought that to the game day a couple weeks ago.
Currently sitting at number 9. And actually, I was playing this at church when one of my men's group buddies walked by.
Nice.
And I almost got him to play.
Oh, almost. I thought you did.
I was playing solitaire.
Oh, okay.
I almost. His wife came over and then started talking.
Yanked him out.
Yeah, I almost got him in on a game, but it is moving up.
Okay.
It is moving up on my list, and I'm probably going to take it from 9. Lost Cities moving down to 9. Trekking Through History moving down to 8. I really like Hero Quest. It's fun. Lord of the Rings going to number 7, so we got some movement there.
Michelle from our game group played this at Game Day a couple weeks ago, and she was raving about it in the Discord channel that she really liked it. So, yep, they played several times, I think 5, 6, 7 times there. So,
And I showed you how to play. Did I show you how to play solitaire yet? We didn't get a chance to teach you solitaire yet.
No,
Okay. Rob, like it ranges so well between solitaire, 2-player, and multiplayer.
Yeah.
It feels like 3 different games.
Okay.
Like the way you're playing feels like 3 different styles of play. So I see so much value out of that small box.
Nice.
Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game. That's how you'll find it on BGG.
Okay.
Played some Finspan. Finspan is currently listed at my number 14 with my recent. So this is where I got into some. Wayne and I and Rob decided we were going to give it to Beans.
Yep.
And for that, I wanted to get some solo plays of it. I like their solo mechanisms.
Do you?
For that reason, this game is moving up from 14 to 13.
Okay. Taking a big leap over.
It's just a little splash.
Over
little
Mandalorian.
Splash over.
Yeah.
Over Mandalorian. It's just Guild of Merchant Explorers is good. That's a strong line here, Robert.
Yeah, I'm going to play
12.
this. I've played this all the time on BGA, so it might move back on.
12, 11, 10.
Ooh, 11.
That barrier right there is going to be like a wall.
You heard about the expansion. We can talk about that later.
I did watch the video. The Czech Games
CGE,
did it.
yeah.
CGE did a video.
Yep.
That'll be in the news. We can talk about
There
that.
you go. Yep.
So Finspan got played, got moved up. Ito is making the board. ITO Ito. This is Arcane Wonders is putting this box together from it's a Chinese
Japanese or
Japanese title.
Yep.
I won't call it a party game.
I was gonna say, is it a party game?
I don't know. Is it a party game? It's a social game. It's kind of party-ish.
Yeah.
But it's gonna go into my 20 slot.
Okay. 20.
I'm gonna.
Well, it's just staying on the board though. It didn't go 20 and then come right off.
Right. It made it and stuck.
Okay.
I think it's good.
That's good.
Is it better than Madeline?
Oh.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll leave that one alone.
You'll have time.
Yep. Sky Team got played. Got to teach my cousin Alex how to play some Sky Team.
Great 2-player game.
Even though I'm back to like the first scenario, because when you teach it again, you go back to the first scenario. It just reminds you what a solid game this is.
Yeah.
Sky Team is gonna fly up the board. Like it's going 13 Guild of Merchant Explorers SETI because I want more plays of that.
Ooh.
I'm
Endeavor. There's that line again.
Yeah,
that was it for me.
I'd rather play it more than Lost Cities. Like if I'm gonna play a 2-player game,
Really?
I think I'd rather play it more than Lost Cities. And if that's my decider,
that's tough for me.
that pushes everything down by 1.
Get on there. Finspan, Mandalorian.
Lost Cities is very analytical. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to call it dry, but I'm going to call it mechanical.
Sure.
Because it's very numbers based. It's
a number based.
It's not really
game.
a push your luck as much. Yeah, there's some push your luck.
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
Sky Team feels good. Like the excitement level towards the end, that's still better than Trekking Through History.
I would agree with that.
I won't say better than Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, no, it's better than Fellowship of the Ring.
I would say I think so. Yeah.
Then I hit the Hero Quest line. I hit the Hero Quest line.
That was the stopper for you last time.
That's because I'm a nerd and I love swords and dungeons.
D&D and dungeons and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's Sky Team.
Okay.
And then I ended up getting to play some Chronicles of Crime. Chronicles of Crime.
Playing this soon. I can't wait. Yeah.
That's with Emmy?
Yeah, me and Emmy are going to play. Yeah, we got it on the table already, so we just got to jump in.
Things I learned. So it's made by Lucky Duck Games.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But apparently, if you have 2 tablets, you can cast the room, what you're viewing, to another tablet or device.
Oh, okay, when you do the little...
So while you're looking at it, your friends can be looking at what you're looking at.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can all look around at the same time of the room without taking more time.
Okay.
But Chronicles of Crime is a crime-solving mystery game. You're a cop in London. That's the first setup. In London, there's different events that occurred, different crimes that occurred. You get to go visit locations. When you visit locations, you get to look around at these locations. The locations will have clues. you will call out what you see, because usually you have these as like a VR headset.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a headset. There's these glasses that you have that you can put on and make it like 3D VR. You don't have to use that. You can just look at your phone display.
Yeah, I don't have the glasses. We play without them. So yeah.
You look around and you actually really physically look around the room.
Yep.
You're going to call out different things you see. There's going to be a pile of cards on the table that your partners have access to, your other players do. So as I see maybe a plant, I'll yell out, there's a flower pot. And if there's a card that says plant on it, the team, which there is, the team can grab that card, set it aside. And I'll be like, oh, there's a dead cat. So then they see an animals card. They'll grab an animal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there's some food on a plate. And they might see food. They might see cutlery, right? So they'll grab these cards, these different clue cards. After I'm done, I can get like 30 seconds or 60 seconds
something like that.
to look at the room. When I'm done, we then look at all the evidence cards we compiled and scan them into the phone. It'll tell us if these are pertinent to the case or not. So you add them to your evidence board. Then you get to meet with the doctor or the forensics guy or the scientist or the hacker. So you have all these access to all these different specialists that you can then scan the specialist and then scan different clues you have, and they'll tell you about those clues as you're trying to figure out who did it, why they did it. At the end of the game, you're at a certain time when you're ready, you can go to the sergeant or
solve it or whatever,
and go, or the captain, and go solve the case.
Yep.
And you scan the cards that you think apply, and then depending on how you do, it'll give you a score. But every time you do something, it takes away time.
Right.
The more time you use, the less points you get. So the quicker you can get to that decision, the more points you can get.
And there's actions in the game that move things along. If you take too long doing this, you might miss interviewing a witness because they went out of town or something.
Yes,
So,
because
yeah.
the witness could be waiting till a certain hour. And if you're driving back and forth to different locations, spending 20 minutes with each drive, that person could be gone and you'll never hear from them.
Yep. It's really cool.
Great game.
Great game.
For that reason, Chronicles of Crime is going on the board.
I'm just curious on this one because I know I'm going to play this. I've played it a fair amount in the past.
It's going to 15.
15. Okay. I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
we'll-
mine will probably be higher.
We'll take it to 15. No, I'd rather play it more than Wingspan.
Okay.
Wingspan's good, and
Yeah.
I actually think it's better than Wingspan.
Yeah.
But Robert, I'm not as into fish as you are.
That's why it's 9 on
I'd
my
rather
board.
look at
Yeah.
birds. I'd rather look at birds.
Start looking boards. Yeah.
The fish are so ugly. Like,
Fish
I like
aren't ugly.
fishing. I like
Fish
fishing.
can be
but
scary, but
no, there's
fish are food.
we had a at church at the Fishing Faith and Fun. I don't know if I told you, we had a Florida Wildlife FWC. She's one of the biologists that works with them, so she got to show all different kinds of specimen.
Okay.
Like they had like hammerhead shark heads, like whole heads of sharks.
Okay.
Lionfish, all these species,
That's
these
cool.
specimens that they caught,
Yeah.
and how they caught them. So they asked for questions, and I asked, "Are fish friends or are fish food?"
Oh, you did ask.
I asked the biologist.
What did she say?
She said both.
Both friends and food.
Fish are friends and sometimes food.
I hope she got it. I hope she got a chuckle out of it. Yeah.
Some of the other dads in the room chuckled, like they got the dad joke.
Okay.
But I did get to ask an expert.
That's good. All right.
All right, number 14, Chronicles of Crime.
Friends and food.
And finally, got to play some White Castle. We've been playing a lot of White Castle on BGA.
Online,
right?
yep.
So I don't record those games as plays because they're asynchronous.
Yeah, I don't
I only
really
record them if we play like in one sitting.
Sure.
But it got me really itching to learn how to get better because I used to be the best.
Not
I used to be the best. And now I'm getting stomped. So I started researching strategy.
Oh, you and your research.
And then I pulled out the solo module that comes in the game. It's a deck of cards. It changes the game so that I can get some practice in.
Okay.
But then tonight, Patrick Brown, former X-Wing player with us,
Yep.
from Armada Games, he was dropping the kids off at the church, which is near my house. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, nothing. Come on over. I got some games.
Yeah.
So wifey, him and I got to actually table a multiplayer play of White Castle on top of my solo plays. So what I'm saying is I got multiple plays in different ways of White Castle, and it just keeps reminding me.
Yeah.
This is like distilled Euro game. Like
It's quick. It's streamlined. Yeah.
concentrated like juice.
You got to do what you got to do quick. Yeah,
You got
get those
9
points.
actions, get it done. And I showed it to Patrick.
Yep.
I think by his second action,
Yeah.
second dice pluck,
He was liking it.
he was like, I'm asking for this for Father's Day.
Where can I buy this?
This is gonna be my Father's Day present.
Nice.
White Castle for me is going above Endeavor.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All right,
This is
and above SETI?
above SETI. SETI was almost, it was 3 hours, man.
Yeah, it's long.
This was 45 minutes with teach. 3 players, 45 minutes with teach, crunchy. Over Endeavor, over Lost Cities, over Trekking. I hit the Fellowship of the Ring, over Fellowship. Geez, Robert, it's going.
Keep going up. Is it above Sky Team?
Yes, it's going above Sky Team. I'd rather play White Castle over Sky Team.
Again, Hero Quest.
Do I put a Euro game over a hack and slash dungeon game? Do I?
Of course you do.
Because then there's that Flip 7 line. That Flip 7 line is strong. I think I'd rather play this over Hero Quest.
Wow, that's
going
big.
to 6. Flip 7 is staying where it's at. Flip 7 is.
I like it. Flip 7 a lot. Huh?
I'm not moving it down. That's what I'm not doing. We will find a way.
Keep it up there. All right. Well, I gotta say real quick though. You're talking about quicker, shorter games. Let's look at your Hall of Fame. So we got Brass Birmingham. We got Clash of Cultures. We got Terraforming Mars. We got Concordia. Concordia's not as long, but we've got some chunky 3-hour games up there on your top your Hall of Fame there. So,
but the deal is this. White Castle distills so many tough decisions down into 9 actions.
Okay.
I almost put out all of my farmers and all of my warriors. I only got out 2 of the courtiers. So like I felt like that was probably, I think it was almost my best scoring game. But it like 9 actions, and I put out 1, 2, 3,
a bunch
of dudes.
Of guys, yeah.
Like normally if you put out 1 every other action, like that sounds about right. So that tells you about the comboiness that there was one turn I put out like 3 people. Like
nice.
It was like and that feeling.
That's good.
That feeling of figuring it out.
Yeah. All right, we got to play again then. Now that you got this thing mastered, let's do it.
All right, so let's give the folks the rundown. We are at 9:40. We're 10 over what I expected. Let's update y'all on the board. So Robert's board. So Robert's top 20.
So I got SETI. This is top 20 of the year, just for anybody who might be watching. These are not all-time games. These are just games that we've played this year and our impressions of our plays of them this year. So it can have anything to do with the environment we played, people we played with, how much we enjoy the game, whatever. So this is just our top 20 for the year so far. SETI number 1 for me. I played it a couple times. It's still a pretty solid number 1. Again, we're going to talk about the expansion that just recently got announced. We knew it was coming. It had to happen. But anyway,
he said he was designing it as he was designing the game. He's been excited about the designer.
Sure. Ostia, number 2. Purple Haze, that's way up there on both of our boards. Number 3 for me. Underwater Cities at 4. 5 is Ultimate Railroads. 6, Maracaibo, game I was talking about. I didn't even look to see it was up there at number 6. Federation, number 7. Obsession, 8. 9 is Finspan. Clank Legacy 2. Sky Team, coming in at 12. A new acquisition for me. Korra, Rise of an Empire. 13, Dune Imperium Bloodlines, because Dune Imperium otherwise is up there on my Hall of Fame. Endeavor Deep Sea at 14, Menefer 15, Draft and Write Records 16, great roll and write. Again, I'm going to be inquiring this in the very near future, probably tomorrow, so I can't wait to play that in person for the first time. Boon Lake at 17, Wormspan 18, Nucleum Australia expansion added on that with my only play, and then Rebirth at 20.
All right, my top 20, my number 1. Purple Haze, number 2, Ezra and Nehemiah. Number 3, Camel Up. Number 4, Captain Flip. Number 5, Flip 7. Number 6, added to the board, White Castle. Number 7, Hero Quest. Number 8, added to the board, Sky Team. Number 9, moving up on my list, is Fellowship of the Ring. Moving down is number 10, Trekking Through History. Number 11, Lost Cities. Number 12, Endeavor Deep Sea. Number 13, SETI. 14, Guild of Merchant Explorers. Added to the board today, number 15, Chronicles of Crime. Going down the board, up and then back down, I guess. Number 16, Finspan. Number 17, Mandalorian Adventure. 18 is Warfighter Nam. 19 is Dr. Reiner Knizia's Battle Line. And number 20, Ito.
Solid list. Yep.
And it's still early in the year. Let's see how this thing works out.
Plenty of time to go. Lots of movement.
Let's get this phone line open. 813-618-7099 is the number.
Call in. Tell us where we're wrong. Tell us what you like. Something too high, something too low. Needs to be off our board. Call and let us know about it, or let us know what you've played. I know a lot of people the last 4, 5, 6 days have been posting in the Discord their updated top 20s for their own personal lists. So I love seeing those and commenting on those. So and then people posting their plays for the month. That's always a cool thing as well. So keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, when you call in, the show is yours for the next 10 minutes. So you call in, and the show is yours for the next 10 minutes.
Yep.
That's how we do it. This isn't just our show. It's our
The
big
hour.
hour.
Yeah,
The royal hour. All of us.
Yes, we are our.
All right. So when it comes to some of the stuff you put on your board, Rob, I think it was the hot takes, board game hot takes.
Oh yeah.
Had a deep conversation about Pirates Maracaibo versus Maracaibo. So I listened to an episode this past week. I did a lot of driving and listening to podcasts.
I bet, man. That's a lot of driving.
Yes, it was. But there was a split down the middle.
I'm glad to hear that then.
That decision of which Maracaibo is the better Maracaibo.
When Pirates first came out, a lot of people were on the Pirates train, but I think as time has gone on, more people have split that. And so I've been hearing more. It's about a 50-50 from what I'm seeing.
Some of the commentary in the show was something along the lines, it's Pfister, right?
Yeah, I think so. Pfister, yep. Mm-hmm.
When Pfister makes a game, it's a great game, right?
Yeah.
Solid game.
Yeah.
Love it.
Pitcher's good, yeah.
When Pfister gets a co-designer to a game
Yeah.
and makes a subsequent game, it is a more pared down, streamlined.
Yeah.
Like it takes another co-designer
Mm-hmm.
to come in and cut out some of that extra that isn't as necessary.
I'm going to have to look real quick. I think his...
So that's the way they described Pirates of Maracaibo, is like, this is Maracaibo, but without the length, without the monotony, without it's kind of distills it down to there's less unfriendly, unfavorable turns.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to look because, to be honest, now we were looking at it. His name may not even be on the Pirates box, which I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. Not Mariposas, no. Maracaibo, where's that? Am I spelling it right?
It's on Pirates, right? I'll pull it up here on the board.
Yeah, I was just going to, as soon as there you go. I say as soon as I typed in Maracaibo, I assumed Pirates would pop up there, but.
Let's see if I can share my screen. This is making great radio for the folks at home listening on the podcast, which I do need to get more podcasts uploaded. Yes, I know.
Are we behind on podcasts?
I think I might be behind on one.
Okay.
Last week was nuts.
Yeah, it is what it is. It'll get up there.
Rob's not a podcast person, so he's like,
No,
okay.
I don't listen to him. I like watching the video stuff.
Let's see here.
Is he on?
Designer Ralph Benert, Ryan Hendrickson, and Alexander Pfister.
Oh, so he's on there. I think just the two names, though, are on the front of the box. His is probably on there somewhere. But I think on the actual box, I think we looked at it because we were trying to figure out. I was like, whoa, I don't even see him on there. But I'm sure it's on there. They've got to give credit to him. But, yeah, these two other guys are the ones who really took his game and kind of made it their own thing there and pared it all down, like I say, streamlined it. And there's no doubt it's like I say, it's a quicker teach. It's a lighter game. It's a faster game. You can really push this game if you just move to the maximum number. You can actually put pressure on other people to kind of get moving along.
Look at that weight difference, Robert. It went Maracaibo was a 3.91. Pirates of Maracaibo was a 2.84.
Yeah, it's a big step. That's more than one whole point, and that's in board game talk. That's a big step. So. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely, like I say, lighter, quicker. Uses the same iconography, uses some of the same art. But yeah, it depends on what type of gamer you are and the amount of time you have. And so I'm glad I played it because it does give you the Maracaibo feel, but definitely quicker, lighter, easier decisions. So
like here's a Great Western Trail. That's a 3.70.
Yeah,
and then I think there's in the line there's El Paso.
Okay. Yep. That's the new 8.
Which I'm actually
I haven't played that one yet.
Wanting to consider that one.
Yeah.
El Paso. Look at that. Adds a co-designer and goes down to a 2.9.
So Pfister just overcomplicates things, is what you're saying, right?
That was a comment that they had on the show, and I'm like, that's interesting. And when I looked it up, I was like, okay, that it is true.
It is true. Yeah.
Sometimes you need someone to come in here and tell you, like, hey, that mechanism that you think is critical really isn't.
Yeah.
Like, is it really making the game better?
You can have fun without it and shave 30 minutes off your game.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I'm all about that.
So you're about
AKA
that.
White
So
Castle.
I like my long games.
Distilled. Nice and distilled.
Give me 3 hours of terraforming Mars.
Let's see. What else did you add to your list? I think that was it, right?
That was the only one I added, yeah. Well, Mennefer, yeah.
Oh, Mennefer.
Yeah. We talked about that one.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I would you. I think you would like Mennefer. Again, it's just a little bit to sit through. I know you like to jump in and kind of learn as you go, so that might be a bit of a challenge. But if you read the rules or watch a video beforehand, I think you would be. I think you would like Mennefer because all the little mini things that go on in different areas affect other areas. So when you're doing something somewhere, you're kind of trying to set yourself up for a better action over there next time doing a different thing. So, yeah, there's Mennefer.
3.7, one designer. I said we get a co-designer and get this bad boy down to a 2.6.
Make it a family game. Yeah. What does it say for playtime?
Mennefer, the party game.
Yeah, exactly. The light version. Mennefer Light. Mennefer Duos. Yeah, 60 to 120 is that what it says there? Yeah. So,
I don't doubt that it was a 3-hour game.
yeah.
Like the box says 120, but it didn't know who was talking about.
Yeah, for sure. And, well, I'm trying to think of the people we had playing. Yeah, it was, yeah, that group could be a little long, including myself. I'm not a particularly fast player, but anyway. But yeah, good game. 8.2 on the rating there. So anything above an 8, I always tell my kids and stuff that they're like, who cares about a rating? I'm like, I don't know, but if it's on BGA and it has enough ratings and it's an 8 or better, it's pretty much almost a must play for me. So yeah,
Not a buy, but a play.
I'll play. I have very few must buys. Although I was telling you before, I'm going to get ready to acquire a bunch. Daryl is trying to get rid of some games, so he put a bunch of them up on the Discord. So I'm going to be getting a bunch of the Shem Phillips series, the West Kingdom series, and the newest one. I struggled in this earlier. The new 3 games he's got. South Tigris. There we go.
Yes.
South Tigris series. So I'll be picking those up. And so I just kind of felt I should have those on my shelf. It's like when I go to a bunch of hardcore gamers' houses now, they've got like the Shem Phillips section of their shelf. And so I'm like, I gotta get a Shem Phillips shelf on my Calyx or whatever. So I picked those up. I figured those will be nice on the shelf there. And he's trying to offload a bunch of games. I know he's downsizing right now, which is hint, a good idea for some people.
No,
but,
no, you can sit on games, Robert.
Okay,
you can sit on
sit
games
forever. So I say this as I'm buying more games and upsizing my collection. So who am I to talk? But anyway, so but yeah, I'm looking forward to having those games in my collection and playing through. I've played most of them. The South Tigris I have not played. Actually, I say I've played most. I haven't played 2 of the 3 South Tigris ones. So I'm looking forward to those. The only one I have played was the color matching one, which I didn't love. But
That's the one that designer of Raw.
Oh, was it?
No. Our buddy from Orlando. He called in and talked about it. Designer of Ross.
Ross. Yes. I can
Mahir.
see his face. Mahir. I see his face.
He called in and really hyped it up. But then the more reviews I saw, the more complex that game really sounded.
And again, some people in our group, I think Jim likes it. I know Sam likes it a lot. It's I think Sam said it may have been her favorite of the 3 newer ones, or I don't know if she's played all 3. She's played at least 2 of them, and I don't know. I'm hoping the other 2 are a little better because it was a lot. But maybe if I play it a few times, maybe it'll become easier and I'll like it better. But I'm going to acquire it either way, so I'm going to have it. So I'll have a chance to play it, and then we'll have to play it. I want to play Ezra and Nehemiah, talking about your list. I want to get that back played. That's what, number 2 on your list? Yeah, right now, number 2. So we got to find an excuse to get Ezra and Nehemiah to the table. So.
Yes, I don't need many excuses for that one.
Okay.
I just need the 2 hours to be able to play it.
Oh, well, man.
That's the tough part.
Game.
Like post show,
Yeah.
that'd be a tough one to get in.
No, yeah, for sure.
Pre-show, you'd have to leave work early and make it here.
I can do that.
And set up.
Well, if we just plan it, I'll be here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Patrick in there and get it through. Patrick loved it. He wants to play more of it.
Oh, does he? Okay, yeah.
He loved
for sure. We'll get Wayne over here. Wayne wants to get back to some pre-show gaming, so we have 4 of us. Get a 4-player game.
I'm back. Let's see. In the chat, what do we got here?
Hey,
Edmund England saying
Edmund.
hello.
Hello.
All the way from Sweden. Let's see. What did we miss in the chat? Chris says, good evening, gents.
Good evening, Chris. Oh, hey, there's a caller coming in.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Odak from lovely Tampa, Florida.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Hola, Jim. How are you, sir?
How's it going? I am
Glad to be back. Glad to be, as tired as I was with the trip and catching up on work this week, getting back into the routine feels good.
Yeah.
Glad to be back.
Get back home sleeping in your own bed.
I am with you though. If I can drive there in 8-9 hours, I'd rather drive than fly.
Oh,
I don't mind flying, but I'd rather drive.
No, I hate flying.
Give me the flight.
You have no idea.
Get me there. I'll be there waiting for you. I'll be playing games while I'm waiting for you. Anyway, you've been doing some traveling, not out of the state, but you've been running around a lot lately.
I was in New Orleans for a couple of days.
Oh, that's right. You were out of the state.
state.
Yep, you were out of the state, and then you've been golf tournaments in Orlando and all kinds of stuff. So busy guy yourself for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I only got 10 games in April. Slacking.
Yeah, I thought I had more played, and when I pulled up my list, I was like, "Oh, that was not as good as I thought it was."
Yeah.
So I got to up my game next month.
Yeah, 10 games and 2 of them were Clank Legacy.
Yes, and I know I get crap from both you for that, and then from Nick for not mentioning Frosthaven every time we play that. So I know I'm bad, but again, those to me they're just kind of habit now. So I just play them, so I don't feel like I need to talk about them every show. But yeah, I'm loving both of them. We only got 2 sessions left on Clank Legacy. We were talking about trying to do a big blowout and maybe play them both back to back on a weekend day or something. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's fitting into the schedule, but we are going to play tomorrow night. Hopefully. We're going to play something tomorrow night, but hopefully we're going to get in our next to last version game of Clank, and then maybe next week finish that up, and then I will have a discussion. Of course, once we finish that, I think it's only proper that I would have a breakdown a little bit more in depth without spoilers about our campaign. So you'll have to call in. Maybe you and I can chat about that live on the show.
I was just going to ask Jim about his thoughts on how that arc played out.
Yeah.
Because the arc of the legacy aspect of that. But man, if Rob and Jim get together to pick a Thursday,
yeah,
and we can have you on the show
have Jim come here
virtually
or do it from home or whatever,
to kind of give the folks the rundown on the beans on the legacy game without spoilers, but mechanisms, surprises, and then your feelings.
Let's do that.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What else did you play in April?
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yeah, I like it.
What else are you getting played in April?
For me, what did I play in April?
Anything that would change your top 20? If you were holding a top 20, any changes to it based on your favorite plays?
What was interesting is the 2 games that fell off my top 20 was Kanban and Civolution.
Mm-hmm. 2 big games. I was really surprised by Civolution. To be I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
Honest?
But, yeah, to be honest, that's probably a good one. Kanban, I know you're a fan of the big Lacerdas, and so that was a little bit surprising. But Civolution, when you first played that the first couple times, I know you really liked it, and a couple people in our
supposed
group
to be the new
really
Feld, right?
Yeah,
The new Super Feld.
Yeah.
I'm actually not too hot on it. Now that I've played it a couple times,
okay.
I think the randomness of the setup is too random.
Well, I haven't played it yet.
You get a bad combination, and then somebody else gets a good combination off the start. There's just no contest.
Really? You just can't catch up, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me like I've never played the game, which I never have. But I did watch a video this week on the solitaire version of the game, which is supposedly really good.
I haven't even watched that.
It made like top 4 for one of the guys I trust on YouTube. Talk to me about the differences between Feld's Castles of Burgundy-ish kind of a style, because this was supposed to be like an evolution to the Castles of Burgundy. Like, why did this one fall flat?
It's a little more 3x, 4x. Sorry.
Okay.
Then
it's not 10 o'clock yet.
Not triple X. It's 4X.
Yeah, it's not triple X. Sorry.
Okay.
It's a little more of the 4x feel of it. You know, you're developing and exploring more, where the Castles is more not engine building, but building, filling in a puzzle.
Yep.
The Civolution, there's different stages of scoring, and you get certain cards that start you out, and if you just happen to get the cards that match up with that scoring, the game is easy.
See, but I think of Castles.
A long time trying.
In Castles, if you buy if you fall into or able to purchase some of the yellow
tiles. Yeah.
duchies they call them. I can't remember what they.
Yeah. Well.
The yellows, the monasteries or monks, or I
Exactly.
can't remember what they call it anymore.
Yeah.
But if you get the right
called
point
decks, they're not
scoring
decks.
ones, what are they called?
He said he wants to call them techs, but they're not.
They're not
techs,
called
but
tech.
Close enough.
Something like that.
Scoring tiles.
Yeah.
If you get the right scoring tiles and they just fall in on your turn, like you're able to get to them before anybody else can.
Yeah. And die rolls in that one, of course. The dice have a lot to do with it.
But this has more swinginess than that. You're even saying?
It's very, if you don't get the cards that match up with the high scoring things, trying to work up to something like you lose like almost a whole round of the game.
And then you talked about setup, like random setup.
See, there's what, 5 different color cards or 6? I forget off the top of my head.
There's a number of
different
colored cards.
which you basically have to tuck them into your board, and they can give you bonuses, skills, etc. You get dealt 2 of each one, and you got to pick one, and you keep it. And with that, you also have a special starting card, which gives you certain starting resources. So there's money and there's food, which are general resources. Then there's goods. There is a grid of 6 times 3, 18 different goods, and you start with 2 of them. And if you don't happen to get cards because each of those cards require a certain good in order to be able to play it. And then those goods have to be, discovered, part of the 4X. They have to be discovered for you to be able to get them cheaply.
Okay.
So, if you just don't get the cohesivity with your setup, you're behind the 8 ball already, right? And I guess if you're really good, you could still make your own engine and catch up. But if someone gets all the right cards from the beginning, they just get off to such a start, and then you're struggling just to get an engine. Meanwhile, he's already abusing his engine, as I like to say.
Yeah, and I haven't played, and I've watched a few reviews. I haven't watched any like how to plays or anything. Is there a possibility of drafting maybe some of those starting cards, having them all out, open knowledge, and then do like a snake draft where people can't necessarily just easily get the right cards that combo up, or is that not a thing?
I don't know. It'd be a really, you drag out the start of the game, right? Because there are, I think, 6 different color cards. So you're going to like draft each set of those.
Okay.
It would really drag the game out. I don't know if it'd be impossible, but
Yeah, or preset them maybe. If you know 5 people are playing, I don't know. Yeah, you could throw pairs out there together or something. I don't know.
It's unfortunate because this one is a longer play than Castles, right?
For a Feld, it is kind of, it's probably the most 4X Feld game I've ever played, which that part of it's very cool. I enjoy playing the game. It is very tight and can be very hard. And if you don't get the right setup, it's unforgiving.
That sucks. Yeah, I still want to play it sometime. But, I haven't heard much about it. This is a game that blew up in a hurry. And then the last 3-4 months, it doesn't seem like I've heard anybody talking about it.
Yeah, it's quickly dropped off my radar. Definitely not on my buy list right now. And, if someone brought it out, I'd play it. But if someone said, do you want to play this or Marrakesh or Castles or Merlin, I'd play that instead.
Okay.
All right. It's what falls off the top 20 list to me is just as important as what gets added on.
Yeah, I agree.
Part of like what I feel like the service we provide here, if there's any service at all,
We're a service.
part of the service I feel that we provide here is that helping folks decide what to buy. Like spending money is not easy to come by when it comes to gaming.
It feels like a more you know.
What is the video game Sid Meier's Civilization?
Yeah.
This game actually feels a lot like that video game to me.
All right. Well, it's a good game.
It's got a lot of, but I think the problem with that game is that, the Sid Meier's one, you had a set path. You always knew what you had to do. This one, you don't have a set path, and it just takes a while to get going, and the game's over before you get anything worthwhile.
Is there good exploration in it, though? That's what I need to know.
It is a very cool 4X game. I really enjoy it. I love how the whole theme of it. You got the board you're exploring on, you're finding resources, you're building out your I don't know what you call it, the middle of that thing there where you're putting the cards, you're tucking them in, you're making rows to get bonuses and stuff. You're discovering techs, you're upgrading techs. It's very cool.
Okay. Well, if it's got good exploration aspects, then it's going to be Clash of Cultures for me just automatically. So that was my biggest disappointment.
Euro
Clash of
version.
Cultures. Yeah.
So the thing you don't like about Clash of Cultures, you would like here, right? So when you do explore, you get bonuses, you discover different things. It's not just
Place this tile.
boundless exploring.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just flip this tile.
Gotcha.
You see all those little like hexagon things in between?
Yeah, so I'm curious what these are.
They get flipped over, and some of them are bad, some of them are good.
I like that.
It makes it very interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. That's why I like Sid Meier's Civilization. Is you go to those little huts, and it could be a hostile tribe that just kills your settler, or it could be a friendly tribe, and then all of a sudden they become a second settler for you that's running around the board. So I like that that random taking a chance.
Yeah.
Cool.
That definitely fell off just because I'm not a fan of the randomness of the setup. Come on, it's not that I didn't dislike it. Just there's so many good Lacerda games that are on my list.
Yeah, I bet. So that's when I know we were talking. I mentioned briefly earlier, but Lisboa is one that I've been dying to get to the table for a couple years now, and so we're talking about hopefully making that happen really soon, possibly tomorrow night. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
But yeah, I got to get Lisboa played.
Number 3 on my top 20 right now.
There you go. Yep, I saw it in there. And then Minefer right now was it? I'm doing out of memory. Was it number 2?
Number 2.
Yeah, 2 on the
Number
list.
2. I really like Minefer.
I got to play it again. So you've played it several times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so
when Sanford's got it, we actually played 2 back-to-back 2-player games of it just to learn it and get the feel of it.
Okay. I was gonna say somebody told me it might have been you or her or somebody that you got to play it a couple times before you kind of really start seeing all those connections. So I'm itching to get it played again.
Yeah, you guys are talking about all the different tracks. I feel like there's a lot of games I feel like that. You got to find one and abuse it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Just hammer the hell out of it, and then anything else in the other tracks that happens in the meantime is all bonus. But you just got to really I like the word abuse because you just got to just hammer it.
Yeah. If the game gives it to you, take advantage. Yeah. So that's where my problem is in those types of games. I like to try to do everything.
You want to do everything.
Yep, I want to see how everything works. I want to get over here. I want to be over there. And then we were warned before we played. It was like, don't let one person run away with one of the areas. And so every time somebody started to go up in one area, I was like, oh, somebody's got to go get them. Somebody's got to go over there, do that thing. And it usually ended up being me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
When I
Like, you go do it, Robert.
Make me do it.
I'm working my own engine.
You got to take advantage of one area without anybody noticing you're doing it.
There you go. So you got to abuse it quietly.
So last night we played Darwin's Journey.
Great one.
Which that one I almost feel like that one you have to find 3 or 4 of the different tracks and move up them, right? You can't just pick one, and you can't do all of them either.
Yeah.
Although you can kind of do all of them, but you got to I really like that game too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've tried to do a little bit of everything in that one, although you do have to pick 1 or 2 that you really excel in. But I think you do kind of have to do a little bit of everything in that one to keep up. So because you got the people on the islands, and then you got to get those exploration tiles and turn those in. You got to get those books for your in-game multiplier. You've got to keep up with the the Pinafore? Was that his boat? But whatever the boat, you can't fall behind there because then you start losing points. So you got to keep up with, I think, just about everything in that game.
I struggled with it, and I think it's because I felt like I was doing nothing well.
Yeah.
I was doing everything but nothing well.
Well, what I like about it is there are some amazing combos. But
Yeah.
man, they're really hard to get to.
That feels so good when you do it, though. I've been playing it quite a bit on BGA, and I had a game the other day where I felt like, what's his name, who taught us the game? Carlos, help me out.
Gregory.
I felt like he did to us. I didn't beat the other players as bad, but I looped around that score track like 3 times, and so I was like, oh, that feels good. I had one big turn that it was like I'm doing this, which fed over here, which completed completed this, and then by completing that, I got a thing. I get to place this over here, and that one big turn made the whole thing worth it. So,
And I'm like, I found a specimen.
what do I do with this?
I now hold a specimen.
Don't know what to do with my specimens. my hands. Anyway, but no, I figured it out, Carlos. I think so. I know you gave me a hard time because I loved the game and I got abused in that game. I finished last.
I think Dan did better than you and I both.
Oh, yeah,
He wasn't even trying.
Yeah, but I think I've got it a little bit figured out. I won't say completely figured out, but the last couple times I've played it, I've run up the score. So yeah, it's a good one.
We played it with the Firelands expansion last
I have
night,
not
too,
played the
which-
expansion yet.
Does it simplify
It
or
adds
make it
time.
more complex?
More complex.
Oh,
It,
God.
there's a bit more complexity. It adds this time track and these adventures, right? So going up the islands or the water route, you pick up these little adventure things. You got to pick up a card, and there's two options on it that have a cost and a reward. And a lot of the costs are you have to add time to the time track, and the rewards are pretty good. But however, there's 4 levels of the time track. The first level, there's no negatives. The next 3 levels, you draw little random chits that have negative impacts. Like one of them that we had last night, when you do a move with your explorer, you get 1 less move every time. When you send a letter, you get 1 less letter.
Yeah.
They're really harsh. It was really unforgiving, but I really liked it.
Odak likes to be abused.
Abused. You like it abused. Mhm.
Listen, I
That's the
struggled
nice
with
word,
the
I think,
base
is
game.
abuse.
Yeah.
I struggled like trying to figure out what to do in the base game. The last thing I need are
Another
side
track.
quests.
Another track.
I
Side quest.
don't need
time
any
track.
more side quests.
Yep.
That is a difficult. It's not a hard game to play. It's a difficult game to excel at.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta see how things work, and you really have to think ahead in this one. There's points where it's like, you know what, somebody's gonna beat me to that specimen. I might as well just not even try. I'll change track. I'll change gears. I'll go for something over there on the other island or something. So, but yeah, you gotta look a couple turns
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I only just started getting into that since Escape Winter.
Nice. And you own a copy of that?
I do. I bought it at Escape Winter.
Okay. Cool. So, all right, I know where to find.
Wish
find
I knew Daryl was going to sell his copy. I wouldn't have.
Yeah, exactly. Say Daryl sold it, and I just actually saw today somebody over in Orlando in the Orlando meetup group was posting a copy of it with the expansion for $55. And I was like, whoa, for $55?
I might even buy that.
Yeah, gotta think about that.
It's a gorgeous game.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is so well produced.
Yeah.
I love the look, the science of it.
I got the game and the expansion for $40.
Oh wow, there you go. That's a steal. Yeah, that's a steal.
Yeah,
It's got good components, and yeah, like Carlos said, it looks the art is nice. You're learning a little bit during the game. It's really cool.
yeah. Definitely one of my new favorites.
The Beagle. I said the Pinafore earlier. The Beagle was the name of the ship. There
Yes,
we go.
Beagle. Yeah.
Beagle.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. All right. Well, I know we kind of sidetracked you a little bit. Was there anything else in particular that you were calling in about, or?
No, I was just going to go over that one. Talk about my top 20 a little bit.
Okay.
Any more changes to
games
the top
that-
20?
Went up. The Gallows got played that Rob was supposed to play.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's
make it.
another Lacerda I got to play. I mean, I've only played one Lacerda so far, and so I gotta get a bunch more played. I want to play on Mars.
Gallows hit my list at number 9. We played the all the expansion modules with Teotihuacan and the new fancy version again at Alex's house.
Nope. No thanks.
I really like that new version of it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple modules I could do without, but I really love that game now.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it before. I like it more now.
Okay.
And then we played Trajan. They got my list too.
I saw that.
And a third play of Voidfall this year.
Nice. Now you were wanting to get that one played more.
Yeah,
Good deal.
especially because it's so damn big.
Yeah. Table Hog.
Yeah.
But that one can be played
when I was gonna
solitaire,
talk-
though, right? Are you playing that with others?
I've haven't this year, but I did for a while. I was playing it, so I really like the soul of that. It's very challenging. There's a lot of variability to how you can play it and different challenges you can do. It's a bear to set up.
I don't know.
I think
if I'm right, these are the two guys that did the series, the deck building series, Robert.
Deck building.
The historical based deck building series.
Yes,
Osprey
yes.
Games.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Imperium Classics, Imperium Legends,
Yep.
Imperium Horizons. And Robert and I think I did 2 solo plays and maybe a play or 2 with Robert.
We played once, I think.
And that's when I realized the combination of those 2 guys, like Nigel and Turksky.
Nope.
Like, nope, never again. My brain is melted. I do not want to be picking up my brain off the floor.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. But I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna have an empty house, I think, for a good part of July, so I'll probably set it up then and play some solo of it.
Oh, nice. All right. Party at Jim's house in July. After Dice Tower.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
Well, we got to talk about the next Big Game Bash.
Oh, yeah, it's coming up in 2 weeks, I think. 2 weekends. So.
Yeah, it's the same weekend at the Aqua Park Campout, which I'm not supposed to be going on.
Ah, all right. So you're telling me you've got a
Is that Fort Myers thing?
Yeah, it's down in Fort Myers. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's about, an hour and a half south of us?
I'm thinking about dropping the kids off and then just trucking right straight down there.
Well, if you're going, let me know. I've been to 2 of them, and I didn't make the last one, but it's something that we definitely go back to. And I know Dice Tower has talked about it because they moved their headquarters over there from Miami now over to Fort Myers. There was some rumors that maybe they would make the whole Dice Tower library available there. But Tom said in a Q&A I think he had last week that that will not be a thing. He said just transporting that library, especially even if it's only just a few miles, it would be such a pain to have to do that. But he said that doesn't mean I won't bring a rack of games every time I come. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he'll probably bring a lot of new stuff that he's wanting to get played and maybe a few classes each time. So that'll be cool to see what he brings and be able to play some of those games because they normally don't have a library there. It's usually bring your own games. There's enough people there, though, that you can just jump into games. There's, I think the last one was probably pushing 100 and something people. So it's fun time. It's I think it's 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is what they do, and they're doing it. I think about once a quarter now, so about every 3-4 months they're doing one. So,
what are the hours, Jim? Are they open all night or?
No, it's just daytime. So it's usually from like 9 in the morning to like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So yeah, they end at a decent hour.
Till dinner time?
Yeah, yep, exactly. So it ends and closes, and it's at the church there. So it's Joey Evans. That's his local game group and local church. So they do a nice get together. It feels just like one of our second Saturday game days, but just bigger. So yeah. But yeah, if you're gonna go, definitely let me know because I could probably swing that unless I've got something planned. I could swing that probably on short notice and get down there. My daughter Emmy may even come, so she's come to one of them with me.
Well, we'll talk more. I'll know more Sunday night. So
cool. Yeah, let me know. All right, Jim. As always, we appreciate you calling. You made it a call-in show tonight, so hopefully other people will take the cue and jump on after you. But have a good evening, and I will see you one way or the other. We're going to play tomorrow, hoping to get Clank in, but from some side issues, we may not be able to get that in. But if not, we'll play a Lacerda.
And once Clank is done, we'll get Jim on the show to provide that description.
Yep.
Spoilers and all.
And we'll talk about the next Legacy game. We're already talking that we're going to jump from this one into another one. So we're trying to pick the next Legacy game that our group's going to play. So looking forward to it.
And sorry, Carlos, but I'm a Chevy guy, so
Chevy guy.
There on your Ford
or Chevy. That's the question of the night, I guess. Ford or not Ford, I guess I should say.
Yeah, Ford or not Ford.
Anyway, have a good night, Jim.
Oh, I thought we had it this past week, man.
Talk to you later.
We had like 5 cars in the top 5 or 6 in the top 10. Oh, good night, Jim. Phone lines are open again. 813-618-7099 is the number. We're talking board games. We're talking our top 20s, games played in April, or whatever you want to change the topic to. That is always an option, too.
Oh, yeah. geeky goodness, other good stuff.
Content that I've been into. I listened to an episode of the Secret Cabal gaming podcast this week.
I gotta listen to that. Yeah.
They posted a special episode where they went through it with the owner or the CEO of Restoration Games, who was a former attorney, I guess still an attorney, but an attorney from the owner of CEO of Restoration Games, and they talked about the tariff situation. And the reason I'm bringing this up is the way they did it was so educational. It was as I'm not gonna say emotionless as possible, because there were definitely emotions there, but as educational, I think, in a way that I listened to it twice.
Not so political. Yeah.
Right, and that was their goal up front. They put out their stance. They said, this is where we lean politically, but we're not going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about the impact. We're going to talk about the reality of it and what it looks like to gaming companies like mine, and what you can expect. And it was just highly educational. So I want to recommend that to folks at home. If you're not a follower or listener of the Secret Cabal Gaming Podcast, the host there, Jamie, along with the CEO of Restoration Games, walk you through not a very long time, like less than an hour, of just talking about the tariff situation in a way that doesn't overblow it, but it doesn't undermine it. Like, it really gives you the consequences of it. Good information. Got to share that.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's a topic that's constantly changing, and so it's hard to know exactly what's going on, because you hear one thing one day and then the next day it's a little different. So.
But they also broach that topic and the impact that uncertainty has, because it's not just if you knew what was going to happen, you can brace for that,
plan for it. Yeah,
right. It's the uncertainty part too that
Sure.
they discuss. It's
Makes
great,
sense.
great conversation.
yeah. Cool.
Secret Cabal. I've been a listener for many
They've been around
years.
forever. Yeah. Good group. Yeah.
Gaming wise, what else? Like this week in gaming, effectively, like what we've been doing.
Yeah, I got some stuff on the table here.
Yes, got. My buddy Patrick came over and he brought me some games, some Blue Orange games that he had that he was getting rid of. So he gave me a copy of King Domino. I've never
Nice.
played.
No, you never played it? Oh,
I have no idea what it's like.
played the heck out of that.
Really?
Yeah, we can play it after the show.
Okay, King Domino. But then he also gave me an expansion to King Domino.
Nice.
The Age of Giants expansion. I think it adds a 5th player.
Oh, okay.
And then it's...
Add some giants and a few other things you can put on the board and do things with. I've heard about it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, he talked about how in King Domino, one player can dominate. The most experienced player can dominate.
Sure, yeah.
But by adding the Age of Giants expansion, he said that it adds enough ability for other players to keep up. So a little bit more randomness in there.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to learning these games and probably moving them on, because I'm not sure it's going to be my style, but Queen Domino he also
Queen
had.
Domino. Yeah, I haven't played that one yet either, but that takes
He said
everything
this
up
is
a
more
notch.
complex.
Yeah, it takes everything up a notch. Yeah.
What is it? Like, what is the style of game in King Domino?
So King Domino is it's really light, family-friendly domino placing, although they're little cardboard tiles that look like dominoes. They have 2 different types of landscape on them. There are green pastures, there's fields, like wheat fields, there's water areas. I'm trying to think of what it is. It's been a little bit since I played, but I used to play the heck out of this game. But anyway, you're building a grid. I think it's a 4x4 grid. As you take tiles, you're drafting them in an open draft, so you can see one round ahead what's coming, and you put your marker on from top to bottom. Whoever's marker's at the top gets the first selection of the next one. So when you take your marker off of your little meeple off of a tile, you move it to the tile that you want for the next round, and then you pick up the tile that you were on and you place it in your grid, and making the game ends when everybody's had the same number of turns, a 4x4 grid. And then there's little crowns.
You're making your own grid?
Your own grid. Everybody's
Okay.
got their own little 4x4 grid, and then there's little crowns on some of the tiles, and the crowns are multipliers. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the same terrain types adjacent to each other. So if I have a green field that is 5 green segments long or adjacent in a line, and then I have 3 crowns on the total of all those green tiles. I multiply the 5 spots that I have times the 3 crowns, and that gives me 15 points at the in-game scoring.
So the size of that region times the number of crowns in that region.
Right. Yep. So that's what you're doing. There are the tiles are numbered from 1 to 60 or 70, however many tiles are in there, and so the tiles get better with the, I think it's the lower numbers, and so you can kind of again look ahead and see, well, 1, a 30, 32, and a 40 are coming out. That 1 is going to be a really good. It's probably going to have maybe 2 or 3. Some of the tiles have 2 or 3 crowns on them, so that's going to be a higher multiplier one. Actually, so I think I've got it backwards because every time you put the tiles out, you put them the lowest number at the top. The lowest number you're going to go first the next round because that's the worst tile of the group. So actually, the higher numbers I believe are the better tiles, the better multipliers. And so, if you choose those higher ones, then you're going to pick last in the next round because you're going to be down at the bottom. So, and it's really simple. Again, you play it just until everybody's built that 4x4 grid, and then you score it up. Everybody just does multiplication. It's fairly simple multiplication. You can score it in just a couple of minutes. And the expansions and then the Queen Domino just add more stuff. The tiles have bad things that you can play on other people. You can put stuff on their board that they have to remove. They give them negative points or things like that. So allows you a little more player interactivity. The original King Domino is pretty. You don't mess with people at all, other than just the drafting part of it. So it's pretty solo-ish, heads down kind of game. But moving into the expansion and Queen Domino give you a lot more player interaction.
All right, I'll get this one checked out.
Yeah, good game.
Bruno Cathala.
Yep, played it a lot with the kids. All 3 of my kids like it. We used to take it places, and small enough. It's not a tiny box, but small enough you could throw it in a backpack and take it somewhere. So, yeah, good game.
Yeah, that's it for purchases. I did order a copy of Harvest.
Okay, I've heard of
Japanese
it. I don't know
game.
much about it. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Well, we
The little
played
one?
it at
But it hasn't arrived yet,
Yes.
so that was a purchase, but not an arrival. It should be arriving middle of May.
I think did Chris you do the
Yes,
yes, the
which got
review?
me thinking about it again.
There you go. Yep, on Dice Tower.
I watched that video and I'm like, oh man, that was a good game.
Yeah, I agree with him. I think he gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I agree. It's not gonna knock anybody's socks off, but it is a fun game. It's very solid.
Take that. Lots of take that.
Mm-hmm. You definitely have to enjoy that to like that game. So, yep.
Any recent plays for you this week? Anything on the This Week in Gaming?
Not a whole lot tomorrow. Again, we've got a game day that we're either going to get in the Clank or we're going to get in a Lacerda, depending on who shows up. I say a game day. It's our Clank group. But and then on Sunday we are actually going back to Frosthaven, so make Nick happy. We're going to do at least one, maybe a double on Sunday of Frosthaven. So Joe and I and Nick, unfortunately, because the Tampa Bay Lightning got knocked out of the playoffs, they were supposed to have a game Sunday, and we're season ticket holders. But since there's no game Sunday, we decided, hey, let's do something different. So we're going to get together and try to catch up on a little Frosthaven. So I think I'm going to push to try to get a double in. It probably depends on how quickly we get the first scenario done. But we're going to spend some time. If not, we'll probably pull out another game and play it. And then next week, I want to say, again, we're looking to probably play, hopefully, our last game of Clank, get that done. Not that I'm hoping it's over, but we'll get that finished. And then, as I mentioned, the group has talked about jumping into another Legacy game. So we started making a list last week, our last play of Legacy games that we all owned. And it also came up Flashpoint Fire Rescue that Wayne has. So that's also a possibility, although Wayne said his schedule may be a little busy right now, so we may not get that done right away. But yeah, looking for my next Legacy fix. Gotta get another one. Gotta get one in.
Patrick was feeling the same way. He came over tonight.
Yeah.
Patrick Brown came over. We played. I taught him White Castle.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter was over at our church, so he dropped her off and came over here.
Okay, yeah.
But he is asking about getting a set of Ticket to Ride Legends of the West. What is it called?
Yeah, something like Rails to the West or something like that.
Western
yeah.
Legends.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's Western Legends, Ticket to Ride. That Legacy game. Yeah, that's one I still want to play that with the family at some point because that seems good. Yeah.
He is. He's like I want to buy the game. I want to have it at the end.
Oh yeah, nice.
But he's talking about bringing it here because my wife will play. I'll play. And I'm not sure if his wife will play or not. He's not sure.
Okay.
But that'll give us 3. So that's something that he's going to try to make happen here.
Cool.
At the house because we have kids the same age, so the little ones can go
play,
keep themselves busy.
Yeah.
So that I'm not a huge Legacy guy.
Oh, but you're gonna try.
But part of it for me, well, for Patrick, I would. And we did Legacy Betrayal.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And Pandemic. It's just, my worry is what happens when it flops like midway to the end.
If it's horrible, nobody's liking it. You can always quit, right?
Can you though?
You can. I wouldn't recommend it, but
right. I don't think anybody would.
If you're in, finish it out. But I mean, if everybody agrees, I mean, I find usually probably the person who owns it has some vested interest that they want to finish it. So the chance that everybody's going to agree to just give it up, I think, is probably slim. But if everybody agreed, I think you could probably quit, right? I mean, if it's that bad. Tom can tell you, Vassal said he almost never finishes a Legacy game.
Right.
That's because he's got a million games to play. But he's found a way to do it. You play far enough that you get an impression of the game, and then if you're hating it, you're hating it. So, yeah.
I just worry about that last match, that last scenario being a dud.
Yeah.
And then you walk away like, wait, that was it?
Yeah. I heard that the Ticket to Ride one doesn't do anything revolutionary. A lot of the stuff in it has been in other Ticket to Ride games, but it's kind of cool to play through one. Number one, the setting, the Old West seems really cool, but then to just be able to play through all the different mechanisms that they used in Ticket to Ride Europe and Markle Edition and some of the different, with stations.
It all gets sprinkled in as you go.
Yeah, so you kind of learn it and pick it up, and it gets a little more complicated as you go, but never overly complicated. So. Yeah, it sounds like a good time. That's one. Again, another one's kind of fallen off the radar. I think it wasn't as good as people were hoping, but a lot of people who played it said it was a good time. I didn't really hear bad reviews of it.
Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, people
so
liked
Patrick brings it up, and I'll let you know if he brings it up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
if he's looking for because I think you can change the number of players as you go, right?
I think you can. I think there was a drop in, drop out thing. But yeah,
I remember that.
If his wife doesn't play and you're looking for somebody to fill out the group, let me know. Yeah.
I'll let you know. Fishing for More in the chat says, I went to a con this last weekend, played a bunch of space games.
Space games. Tell us more. Tell us more.
They had a flea market, and I bought 7 games for $80.
Oh, wow.
Take that, Terrace.
Yeah. That's nice. That's a heck of a deal. But yeah, tell me more about these space games if you haven't already in the chat. We're going to catch up here. But
he says the games were used but untouched. I was going to talk about an article I read in my Car and Driver magazine.
Okay.
About this topic. They were used.
Games?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Untouched cars.
Untouched cars.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
That's all I was hoping.
It was a great read. It was great editor read. The games were used but untouched. Mage Knight, Planet Unknown, Machikoru 2,
Oh, that's good.
My City, Roll and Build, Cosmic Encounter, Splendor Marvel, Telestrations 12 Party Pack.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, it's like Rocky 12.
Adrian.
I was so happy.
Oh, I thought it was the name of a game. It's like I haven't heard of that one.
I think that's a feeling.
Okay.
Chester was asking for the list of games, and that's where Fishing for More came in.
There we go.
Chris says he'll call in. Thank you, Chris. Keep it a call-in show. Much appreciated.
Yep. Make sure we're still on there. Good. Yep.
Oh, I got a voicemail from Chris.
Oh.
We'll
from
play
before?
that. Yeah, we'll play that.
Hopefully we didn't miss his call just now, but.
Mage Knight, ha ha ha, says Chester Wilson. Mage Knight is not a good game, question mark. I know it's high on BGG. So Mage Knight, to me, Mage Knight that I grew up with was the miniatures click-based game. And then, who was it? Was it Svaddle?
Was it?
Who did the uber brain burning, like toughest rule set to learn version?
That's what I'm trying to. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. So let me pull it up real quick.
That's probably the one that Chester Wilson's talking about.
Probably, yeah, I'm sure it is. That's the one. I know Nick in our group owned it for a while. I can't remember if he got rid of it or if he still has it. He tried to learn it or did learn it at one point. But I've heard that's a game that if you put it down for more than a month, you're basically starting over with learning the rules again.
It's kind of how I felt with William's Sword and Sorcery.
Okay, yeah.
Right, because his Sword and Sorcery was so complex of a dungeon crawler.
Yeah,
that it is too complex. I want to go back to Hero Quest, where I just kick the door down,
just jump in,
kill the monster, take the treasure.
Oh no, that's not the right Mage Knight. Let me try that again.
Let me see. I'm pulling it up on BGG as well.
Here it is.
Mage Knight, the board game.
It's yeah.
Yeah, Vlada's Vadel.
You got
Yep.
it. Nailed it. Yeah.
Hey, I've been doing this a little while.
Hey.
Thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Let's see what else did Fishing for More said. He said he played a few sessions of Clank Legacy, the first one. And then he says, at this con, I hosted Clank in Space, my first time hosting.
Ooh.
It was all ladies that signed up to play with me. It was all fun. Just only ever played that with dudes. That's interesting.
Okay. I love me some Clank in Space. I think that's probably my favorite version of Clank. Yeah, I think so. I like the Catacombs where stuff moves around and stuff, but I think I still like Clank in Space better. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of like historical cons that I've done is the hosting aspect. I really like hosting and teaching new games and getting a group of gamers into a game, because you're going to get a variety of folks, people who are interested in the game but have never played it, people who've never heard of it, they just signed up because a friend of theirs has signed up, and then you get the people who love the game and they just want to play it again with another group of folks that are enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
It is. Fishing for More says that was his first time teaching or hosting.
Yep.
Hopefully you enjoyed that experience as much as I have. I think it's one of the best parts of cons.
Yeah, and even as a player, I remember early Dice Towers jumping into a game of Russian railroads, and then a game of the Stand Up for Caverna. And the teachers were people who just loved those games, and you could tell they weren't even playing; they were just teaching and helping people. And the love for the game really sticks in my mind. That learning those in person from people who just wanted to teach a group of people at a convention was really a cool experience.
I still remember that guy. We were playing Sands of Time, not the Sands. The before they did the reprint of the Dudes on a Map.
Dudes on a Map.
Yeah,
right.
the reprint is. Oh man, why is it the reprint? Sands of Time or Blood and Sands or something like that is the name of the reprint.
Oh, I know what you're thinking of.
But the guy came by. He was walking by. We had a asking for teacher sign.
Yep.
He sat down to teach us the game. But he had to go because he had dinner with friends coming up. But by the time he got done teaching it, he was like, I want to play. So he was late to his dinner just so that he can play with us.
That was the one with the pyramids.
Yes. I don't know why. The Egyptian game.
Cyclades is part of the series.
It's in all in that same series.
Yeah,
why am I not?
Yeah, I'm
starts with a K?
I
Anyway.
got chorus stuck in my head, but
right, like but it was a great game, a great time. He was late to his dinner, all because he wanted to teach and play with us. That's how much fun hosting is.
Yeah.
But we did have a topic a couple weeks ago when we were last on, and we got some voicemails from Chris. So I wanted to play those. Robert, you didn't get to hear these.
No, huh?
Let's see what he had to say about our topic. I know we were talking about how to get rid of games.
Oh, okay.
So let's see what he says here. If I can get this thing to play.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Beans and Dice crew. This is Chris from Texas. I just got a chance to listen to the show last night, at least the first part, where y'all discussed how to get rid of games and good ways to offload games to other homes, so forth. Wanted to just...
I'm going to pause there. Kemet.
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 You hit it too?
Thank you, Alex.
I just thought of it myself.
It was Kemet.
I was going to say when
I
he was
had to
done
interrupt
with that. Yep. All right.
Because that was really bothering me.
Kemet. Yep, got it.
All right, back to the voicemail.
Wanted to just chime in on that for future playback. So for me, I just recently sold 3 games on Noble Knight Games. They're kind of like my go-to selling location. When you give them, the items you want to sell, though, I always counteroffer because they'll give you a really low ball offer, probably because that way they have negotiating room, but they don't tell you that. So I always, go up like 20, 30%. More than what they say, and every time I've done that, they've said yes. So that's a little trick there. So including one of the games that I sold was the Everdell Collector's Edition, the big box, just because I didn't like the box that much. I liked the meeples that it came with and all the stickers that you could put on it and some of that, but I just thought it was just like it made me want to play the game less, having to pull everything out. It wasn't structured as well as I'd like. So I sold that along with all of my Everdell content, even though I really like Everdell. I have the app, and I back the Silver Frost Everdell game that's a standalone game that's coming out. And so I just don't need that much Everdell. For one, I'm trying to downsize. those big boxes anyway, and space is always a premium. So that's what I did. I sold the Everdell and then 2 other games, all my Everdell content, and then I just took cash. Sometimes I've done store credit in the past. I just took cash, and they'll just Venmo or PayPal it to you. You get the cash, and then you're good to go, and it feels really nice to get rid of those games that are taking up space that you just don't want to have anymore in your collection for one reason or another. Option B, if you don't care about the money side to getting money back, recouping your costs, is you can, for me, go to your local library and donate them there. I'm sure not all libraries take board games, but I have one close by 10 minutes away that takes board games. They have a board game collection there, and I've actually rented games too because they have a really nice collection. So if you have a local library that has board games, you can donate them to your local library. All right, that's my 2 cents on that subject. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
I'm curious to know about the shipping aspect.
I was going to ask the same
Knights.
thing. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, like,
how do you get them to them?
I get $5 for the game, and then I got to pay for the shipping.
Or they send you a box or something. You send it back. Probably
because
not.
I'm not good at the shipping piece.
Yeah, I know you've talked about that.
Like I'd be down to just throw it all in a hefty bag. Like it's gonna look like Chris Farley's luggage.
Drop it off,
and when he gets out of Tommy Boy.
Oh yeah, all taped together.
It's just a garbage bag taped together.
Yep,
and just throw that in the UPS box.
Nice. Hey, you got a caller?
Speaking of the devil,
Chris. It's Chris from Tejas.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Chris, tell us about the shipping aspect, though. We got your voicemail. We played it. You talked about Noble Knight, which is a company that I have bought many games from, but I've never sold to. How do you ship it to them?
Well, I actually left a follow-up voicemail, but it was shorter and described that. But I'll tell you real quick, they cover all the shipping for you. They'll cover as many shipping labels as you need to ship all of your games comfortably so that you feel like, you're not stuffing it too much, what have you. So they say, tell us the number of labels you want. It's all FedEx. They'll send you the labels. All you have to do is print them out, attach them to whatever box you have. Obviously, they don't provide the boxes for you. So you just need to provide the boxes, the packing material, obviously, all that kind of stuff. What I do is I just save all that material whenever I get a game. I just save all the boxes I get, save all the packing material from wherever I buy my games from. Then I have it to ship back to Noble Knight Games. And they cover, like I said, all the shipping is included in that. So,
all right, not so bad.
That's almost seamless.
Yeah, almost.
Because FedEx will come pick up from your door if you just ring that bell, push that button on the website.
Yeah, I drop it off at their store, but yeah, they'll come to your house if you schedule it. And, yeah.
Now, okay, let's talk about like percentage of new price. Like, how far of a discount did you sell them at? Are you getting like 20% back of the game?
More than that. Let's see. I got $150. It was right around $150 for Everdell, and then the 2 other games, which are smaller games that I sold them.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I think that's pretty good. $150. I mean, that's not what they offered me first. I think they offered me like 130 or 125. I can't remember exactly, but I counter offered 150.
There you go, folks. That's good info.
And, yeah. So you can still get some cash. I mean, it's always better if you have more than one game, because you usually get a better deal overall than just shipping one game, unless it's some kind of massive, super expensive game, then it doesn't matter.
Sure.
It's big, and you're going to get a lot for it. But if you got multiple games, you probably get a better deal overall.
I mean, I just bought a few expansions from them for NOM, the Warfighter NOM. I could have had a store credit for some of this stuff.
Yeah, I could have exchanged and got it for free.
You'll get more. I mean, I got 150 cash. I would have gotten more for store credit.
Oh, you get more for store credit?
Do they give you more for store credit? A lot of places do, yeah.
Yeah,
how much
it's at least 30%. It's at least 30% higher for store credit.
Wow. All right. So if you're looking to trade up some stuff, that sounds like a good option.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for the contribution for the folks at home. Voicemail is an option.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to watch live, you watch later, and you want to comment,
have something you want to say,
bring into the show, contribute, you can just call the phone number. It'll go right to voicemail. And then you can leave your voicemail, and we will play it on the next episode.
Then you can call live on the show like Chris did and talk about your voicemail. That works.
Well, I wasn't planning on doing that, but it's because y'all didn't have a show last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had meant to play it last week, but I was out of town. What else? How's your
y'all
April
want
going game wise? What else? What's your top 20 looking like?
Well, I need to go over it because I'm playing some more games. I need to update my list, but I'll go over what I played this past weekend. So my son and I went on a camping trip. I took 3 games with me, played all 3. First game was Castle Combo, played a game of that.
Good.
Then played 2 games of Archaeology: The New Expedition.
Oh,
so
like it.
Hardy.
Like it. Praise be.
And then played the new title, which I posted in the chat there, Wine Cellar,
Oh, yeah.
which Wayne backed.
How was that?
And what was that? Is that what you said?
Or how was that?
It was good. I played the first game was 3 players, the second game was 4 players, and the third game was 6 players. And it's one of the best scaling games I've ever played. It plays from 1 to 8, so there is a solo mode.
Wow.
Not tried the solo yet, Carlos, but from 2 to 8, based off of the way the rules are, I know it scales incredibly well because like I said, I played it 3, 4, and 6, and it scaled great.
Right.
Basically, you throw in more cards, the more number of players you have, and it tells you the exact numbers to include in the deck. And then you just throw those in, shuffle it, and then deal out 8 cards to every player. And then it's 8 rounds or 8 turns. And then after 8 turns, you score it up. So it's very simple on the rule set, but it's fun. It's engaging. The artwork's Vincent Dutray, so it's very nice. And the cards are a very unique shape. They're rectangular, but very kind of thin rectangular. I mean, it's a thin rectangle.
Wow.
But so it's kind of neat, those little cards. And then you put them sideways in front of you as you're drafting. What's cool is it's a card drafting game. Your hand of 8 cards is what you are using to bid. So it's a bidding card drafting game. So you use a card and you basically play it face down. The high number will choose first from the available cards that you're drafting. And then the cards that you bid with become the cards you bid with the next round, which I think is really fun. And so you're just cycling through all of the cards eventually, and then whoever has the most points win. The way you score points is you're trying to get your cards, your wine bottles from 1 to 8, or from 8 to 1. So as long as they're sequentially in order, and then you basically have to do it that way. Every bottle has a number of points on them. So for each position there, so like, the bottle might say on the 1 position, you get 8 points. On the 2 position, you get 3 points.
Oh, is that what that means?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at pictures.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get the most points based off of that bottle where the position is. So ideally, you want, 8s on all of them in the position they're in. But of course, it's not going to always work out. But I did have one game where I had like 7s and 8s on almost every bottle. But you also have this little secret objective, multiple objectives. It's your client list. The client list, the way you score points is you have the country of origin for the bottles.
See that?
Based on the number, and great scaling there, the number of players, based on the number of players, you'll get to score points for more countries. So it'll be like maybe 1 to 3 player game, which you're scoring for like 1 country. And then it's 2 countries, and then it's 3 countries. So it just keeps going up and up because you're going to have a lot of, obviously, people sharing those same goals. So they just kind of beef it up. And then you also have, for each wine, there's 4 wine types. There's rosé, there's white, there's sparkling, and there's red. And you'll get bonuses for various, wines of that type. Maybe you get just a bonus for 1 of those, or maybe you get a bonus for 2 of those, and one of them might give you a 3-point bonus per for that type, or 1 bonus for another type. And so you each have these sometimes competing goals, and sometimes you're not competing at all. With some players, you may not be competing all with those goals, but if you have enough players, you're going to be competing. And so you're scoring points for that as well. Nobody knows what you're competing for, so that's a secret objective. And then that's it. The person with the most score wins, most points win. And and it's a pretty high scoring game. I think the highest scores were in the 80s. I think my highest score was like in the 70s. I never quite broke 80. I didn't win. think I won one time, but I think 78 or something was my highest score. But in the other two games we played, like the highest score was 80 something. So that's kind of what you're looking at. 80 points is going to win you the game pretty much.
Help
So,
me
somewhere in
understand
there.
this bidding aspect, because I heard you say that you
Mhm.
are bidding with cards,
Mhm.
and then as you gain cards, you're then bidding with the new cards that you gain.
No. Okay, let me explain a little bit better. So at the beginning, so say it's a 4-player game, there'll be 4 bottles that are out there for you guys to bid on. You'll have a hand of 8 cards on the first round. So you'll choose one of those bottles of wine that's in your hand, play it face down, and it'll have a number on it, maybe say 1 to 30.
You're talking about the points?
You'll have-
Is that the points?
No. It's the number at the top. You
it's
see
just
there,
the number.
The number at the cork of the bottle.
like a 54, a 23, 13.
Yeah,
Yep.
correct. It's at the top of the card, that number at the very top.
Okay.
That is the bidding value.
Okay.
Copy that.
Okay. And then, so basically, whoever has the highest one will choose first. If it's one of these rounds where you like all your options or most of your options, you may want to play a low value bottle from your hand. And then maybe on another one.
Because you're
where
not
it's like there's
burning
really no
that
option.
higher value bidding
Correct.
item.
You want to save it. Yeah. You want to
When
save
you really
that for
need
when
it.
it really matters.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's
Okay.
some strategy to that.
Yeah.
And then basically, then the next round, all of the cards that were used for bidding become what you bid on the next round. And then
Those
you-
are the bottles
at
that go
point-
for sale.
You're correct. And so at that point on round 2, you're going to have 7 cards in your hand to be able to use for bidding.
Because the
And
one
then
you
you
bought
play a
goes in
card?
front of you face up
Right.
sideways
Into your display.
in your one
Correct.
slot.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or 8.
that's right. It's just in front
Start
of you.
high or
Yep.
start low.
Oh, you can decide which
Yeah.
order of
Yeah.
operation you want to
So
go
yeah,
in?
if you have to draft a high one first, then you're gonna go high to low.
No, but does
Yeah,
that
and
mean
and a
that
good-
in the later
Mhm.
rounds you're down to like 1 or 2 cards for bidding?
Yes, you are. So that's why you may want to hold on to some of your high numbers for towards the end.
So you're
burn
not
all your high numbers
adding
early.
back to your hand. It's a deplenishing resource.
It
Ooh.
is. Yeah.
Replenishing.
I don't
I
know.
think you made up a word.
Yeah.
English is
Yeah.
not my first language. Depleting?
Depleting. There
It
you
also
go.
speeds up the game, though. When you have less cards in your hand, it speeds up the game. It's a little bit slower the first, half of the game, and then it speeds up as you have less cards in your hand.
Okay. I've never heard of this game.
Wow.
Never seen this game.
I've seen it. It was a Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
okay.
obviously a retail version. I think I got a promo pack with the Kickstarter,
Okay.
but I think you can buy the promo pack on their website. It's 20th Century Games. I think
25th,
that's the name of the publisher.
25th
25th.
century.
There you go. Yeah.
It's going
Yeah,
on my
25th
wish
century.
list.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah,
heard,
it's definitely worth the pickup.
yeah, I've definitely heard about it. I think Wayne was probably where I mostly had heard it, and then I saw, once he had mentioned it a few times, I saw it pop up and when it started delivering pictures of it and stuff. So I didn't realize it was such a small game. I thought it was a bigger game.
Yeah.
But it looks really cool. The art for those little cards, the art's pretty nice. And you mentioned Vincent Dutray, so that's definitely nice. It's got an 8.5 there. I mean, it's brand new, so you get some distorted
Yeah,
ratings.
everybody that bought it on
Exactly.
Kickstarter.
Everybody loves it. They paid money for it. But so that.
Well, I gave it an 8 out of 10. So
Okay.
I think it's a real solid game. Now, I'll tell you what other thing is cool about it. I played it with a first grader on the camping trip. Not my son. He's a second grader. He didn't actually play. He was playing with some of his friends and some stuff. I played the first grader who's into games. I played with high schoolers, and this was all together. We were all playing in a group. And then I also played with parents. So I was playing with, adults with kids. I was playing with high schoolers, and I was playing with even a first grader. And it worked well with all of them, and they all liked it. They wanted to play it again.
Awesome.
We played it 3 times, and
It sounds
various,
fun.
people were in the game.
I love
Mhm.
drafting
So-
and that extra element of drafting with your own points, basically, or
I'm not a huge fan of bidding games.
bidding. It's not
Right?
drafting,
I'm not a
bidding.
huge fan of bidding games. But bidding games that have a good system, a
Mhm.
good outline
Mhm.
system. The ones like what's the one that I hated the most? Castles,
King Ludwig.
Ludwig or whatever, Mad King Ludwig. Like those type of bidding games where you can put anything down and whatever you lose goes. Like I struggle with that stuff. But games like Furnace, where there's just a good solid system for bidding, I like a lot. This one's going on the list.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
Yeah, and it's not mean. It's not a mean
Structured.
bidding
That's the
game.
word I'm looking
And
for. A
obviously you're not
structured bidding
with money.
system.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, how about the parents though?
And I
Like
think-
this first grader's parents, what they think about you trying to hawk wine to the kid?
Playing alcohol games with little kids.
Well, what's funny is the mom wasn't around. She was with the father. I know. It's kind of funny. And I never met this kid before, and my son knows him from school because this was a school camping trip. But he just wanted to play. Now, he wanted to play any games. Like, he wanted to play archaeology. He played archaeology with us. And I don't know if he played Castle. I don't know if he played Castle Combo. I think that was before he came over. But he played archaeology, and he played this one. And he played this one twice. And I think archaeology he played twice, too. So that was just kind of a one-off. But the fact that all those ages enjoyed the game, and I even asked the high schoolers after. I said, "What do you think of the game?" They said, "I really like it. It's not too complicated, but it's interesting, and I really enjoyed it." So
We followed it up with a game of Breaking Bad. We made math together.
Of course.
It was a great trip, kids.
It's soda pop. It's not wine. It's soda pop.
exactly. Yeah, I just said it was grape juice to the first grader. I'm like,
There
yeah, we
you
got
go.
good
There
on
you
grape
go.
juice.
Sparkling grape juice. Yep. There you go.
White or dark grape juice. Yeah, red grape juice.
That's
So,
awesome.
Perfect.
That was that one. And then lastly, you probably played it. I mean, you remember it on BGA. And obviously, you haven't finished the game yet, so it's too early to tell. But what do you think of Twinkle Twinkle, that kind of tile drafting, tile placement game with the space theme?
I'm not getting it.
Oh, I'm curious to
You're
see
not rocking it?
how it finishes. Yeah, it's super light.
But it's
so-
not drawing me in.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I'm struggle busting with it. It's next thing I had a row of like 3 black holes when I finally read how black holes work.
God.
No, don't do that.
No. You can't do that.
Whoops.
Did you read about what everything does first, Carlos? Because it tells
Apparently
you on the
not.
side what everything does.
Apparently not.
Okay.
I check every
I
time.
bet Rob did.
Yeah, I check every time. Every time I'm
bet
about to
Rob
draft something, I'm like, hold on, how does that work again? Let me scroll up. Let me.
Black holes look pretty cool. Yeah, I want 3 of them.
No, that's not the way you do this. Nope.
I'm going Interstellar on this thing.
Oh,
Matthew McConaughey, come on, let's go.
Yeah. Again, I'm curious to see the way it finishes up. So if I remember, you score your largest and your second largest cluster of connected stars. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, and then you got all the satellites and the planets, the black holes that all do special things. So yeah, I'm curious. Right now it seems easy because we've only filled in. I don't even think half of our boards yet. So I'm curious to see as the board really fills up, and you've got to just fill. I assume you got to keep drafting. You got to fill in every spot. You're probably going to want to put a few, or you're probably going to end up having to put a few things in places that you don't really want to put them. So that'll be the interesting part, I think, is as it really fills up, trying to figure out where can I minimize the damage that I got to put this thing. Carlos has already damaged his board all up, so it don't matter.
I hit undo.
Oh, did you?
So I got it down to 2 because I was
Just 2 black
placing the
holes?
third one when I finally decided to read what they do.
Hey, black holes like each other. They're supposed to be in a cluster together. Right? No.
Oh, I like the player order decider.
Yeah.
So like it really does feel like that is moving.
That's King Domino does the same thing there. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's always changing, and that feels good. So you can't predict who's going to be grabbing what next.
Yep. Yes. Well. I'll just have to give you my opinion on it. I'll reserve until we're done. But so far, it's quick. It seems like a quick, light, little fun game. But yeah, I want to see how it the decisions I have to make as that board fills up.
Well, in the real retail version, I don't know if they have it on BGA yet. There are those scoring tiles that everybody will have going down their player board. They're double-sided, so then you can flip it over and you can mix and match the scoring conditions for every game. They're double-sided scoring conditions.
Okay.
And then there's a little expansion you can add that adds more tiles. So then every game you can play with different scoring conditions, and obviously you have to make sure you know what they are and you read them, like what Carl was doing at the beginning, but Rob was doing. But it's also on BJ, it's harder to read like on a smaller screen. You kind of need a big screen to see everything.
Yeah.
So I think in person, Carlos, you would like it even more than on BGA because you'll have your player board and you'll have the little scoring tiles right there, and it's right there. You just read it. I was like, oh, okay, I know what that does. I know what that does. It's pretty easy, but there's only like 5, I think, Rob. I think that's close to what it is. Maybe
Yeah,
5
seems
different things you can
seems
do.
right. Yeah, yeah. And I'm glad to hear that there's some variability. There's some stuff you can plug in there, because that was my thought, is that it is a fun little light little game, but after you play it 3 or 4 times with the same black holes, the same
Mhm.
whatever, it would get pretty stale pretty quick, I would think. But yeah, okay. I'm glad to hear that that there's some mix and match stuff in there. That's cool.
Yeah, and they even have like an Alien expansion, which I did not pre-order because I put a link in the chat there. You can check out their page if you guys check the chat tonight.
Okay.
You can check out all the options. But I just ordered the expansion that added more scoring tiles, and also the components are great. They're all acrylic tiles, so it looks like the components are really good. And then you can mix and match. And like I said, they're double-sided, so you've got extra tiles, double-sided. You can play with the B side of this tile, the A side of this tile, mix and match every game. And as long as everybody knows, what the scoring conditions are, and everybody has their own scoring tiles. So it's not like you have to look at this central board that has all the scoring. No, Carlos has a set of scoring tiles. Rob has a set of scoring tiles. I have a set of scoring tiles. Everybody has the same tiles on their player board.
Cool.
And they just go to the right side. So it's a little column there. So yeah, it looks fun. I mean, like you said, it's light. But I think it's a fun family weight kind of game where it's real approachable, and then you can mix and match.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, definitely.
The art is very. I mean, it's constellations. It's it's like
just dotted lines,
dotted
lines.
Stars. So it's not capturing me at the moment.
Okay, not loving it.
Yeah,
That's okay.
that's understandable.
Not everything will.
Yeah.
Not everything can be in the footsteps of Darwin.
Oh, okay, that's the one.
No.
That's the bar. Yeah, all right.
Oh, and thank you, Carlos, again for sending me the expansion for that. I did pre-order that, and
the heads
it
up
looks
on
like
that.
a pretty good expansion. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
looks good,
research
though.
more once they put out more info on it. I'm not. You talked about your experience with the big box for Everdell, and the way you said it about how it made it less desirable getting the game out. I feel that way about just about every expansion. With there probably less than what I can count on one hand expansions that made me want to play the game more. And I don't mean expansions that just add more. I love those. I love expansions that add more.
Yeah.
Right? Heat. It's just another track and more cards. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you add like
mechanisms,
yes, it reduces the amount of how much I want to open that box again. Because I know the base game, but now I got to go figure out or remember the expansion, and then I'm teaching it to someone. So let's pull that. It's just I worry about that as much as I want to jump into the matcha expansion for White Castle or the Darwin's Footsteps of Darwin expansion. I just worry that I know myself now. The more expansions I buy, the less I want to play the game.
Yeah, expansion bloat. The thing about the Footsteps of Darwin is the box is very small, and the expansion looks really small. And I think you could actually put the expansion in the game if you remove the insert. Now, I don't know. I have to see, but it's a very small box expansion. If you look at it, it's not a full-size box. Usually I'll try to throw that in, but even if you don't, if it's small and there's not a whole lot you're adding, it's not going to take up a lot of space on your shelf. And then, obviously you teach new players, maybe you don't throw that in, but after someone's played it a few times, that's going to give, again, more replayability. Because I've played in the Footsteps of Darwin at least 12 to 14 times. So for me, it's like I would like more of that game and more variety.
Sure.
Because I've seen all the time.
I haven't quite got to a dime yet, but I know I'm over a nickel, so I'm probably in the realm of 7 to 8 plays. And yes, there is a little bit of sameness with what you're doing, but I feel like I'm always teaching somebody new, so I'm also enjoying it for the first time again through somebody else's eyes.
Yeah.
And if I want to get more complicated, I'll go do Darwin's Journey.
Yeah, White Castle. Yeah.
That's a leap.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
huge leap.
understandable.
Oh, that was it. You were doing a funny thing there. Big leap, not a little
big leap.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Nice. Oh, and then the last thing I was going to tell you guys I did leave on the voicemail is, and y'all have mentioned this before, but the Geek Market is another place you can sell your games, but you're going to be doing them one at a time. So it's going to be more work. You have to post listing for each one. And then if you have a game that's not very popular, it might sit there forever and you may never sell it. So, but I have used the Geek Market as well to sell games.
That's the online one through Board Game Geek. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't ever sold online at all, so it'll be a whole new experience for me. One of these days, I'll hit that point where I'm looking to get rid of them, but still got my collection about 160-ish, so I'm still pretty happy with where I'm at right now. So,
Great.
I'm not gonna
Well,
talk
that's all
about
for
it
me,
because
folks.
it stacks around us, yeah, all around.
Yeah, we won't mention that in front of Carlos. And
Yeah.
that's between me
Setting
and my
boundaries,
pastor.
setting
between me and my pastor.
setting limits, Carlos. Set limits. Mhm.
Carlos has an accountability group for the numbers.
Yeah, there's a little special. They meet once a week, and
It's been 4 hours since I bought a last board game.
yeah.
Here I am. I'm on Miniature Market right now, looking up
Yeah,
Wine
I know.
Cellar.
The whole time he's been talking to you, you've been scrolling through, looking for the best deal on Wine Cellar. One more to add to the
Go away,
list.
Chris. Go away.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, Chris.
Good night, brother.
Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
God bless you.
Bye.
Good night, brothers.
I like that guy.
Yeah, he's funny. It's already 11 o'clock. I just was looking.
What?
I was like, holy mackerel. I just looked at my clock twice. But real quick, expansions. I mean, I don't know how much we're going to fit back in tonight, but we got to talk about the SETI thing real quick. Because you talk about you talk about adding stuff to a game, and that sounds like that's what SETI's doing. They're going to add a couple more aliens to the game.
That was expected. Like the
Yeah,
aliens.
for sure. That was a grand slam or knock it out of the park. I mean, that had to happen.
Because there's, I think, what, 5? I think, is it 5? I think 5.
There's 5 or 6 in the original. Yeah, in the game box, and then they're adding, is it 3 or 4 with the expansion? So I mean, just more variability. So yeah.
But I think they're also adding mechanisms too.
Are they? Oh yes. There is a. Is that another deck or something of cards that? What was it? It adds. Yeah, there is a new mechanism and a new thing.
CGE did a video this week.
Yeah.
I think yesterday.
I didn't watch the video. I watched a review of the video. Somebody else talking about
You
the
watched
video.
the video
Of a
about the video?
of a guy doing a thing, of a guy being a guy.
There's a dude disguised as a
There's another
dude playing another dude.
Yep, that. So
I watched the video. The SETI part, I didn't listen to everything he talked about, but he was very excited. The designer, he talked about how this expansion was something he was working on while he was already designing SETI.
Yeah.
Like it was already on his heart to get this one in.
I know that's gotten some criticism. I heard it more in the past than I've heard it recently, but people saying, all right, well, this was probably just really part of his base idea, and he stripped some stuff out of it so he could sell that as an expansion later and get you for more money. So, I mean, maybe there's some truth to that.
I don't know. I think the base game, adding more to it would have, it's a lot.
Would have scared some people away.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think SETI already on its own feels like, which is why
SETI
it's
is a lot.
mid pack.
Yeah.
13 right now on my list because
One for me.
it is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is. It's a decent teacher. It's not as much. And I was thinking about this actually on my way over here tonight between SETI and Minnefer, because they are both big games, and I was thinking about which one I like better and why. SETI is a lot. Minnefer is a lot. I think Minnefer is a bigger teach, but I think Minnefer is a little easier to play again because of how it limits your options each round. SETI, I was thinking on the way over, you really don't have a whole lot to limit. You really can do any of the things pretty much anytime you want. There's probably some better times to do some certain things. The scanning, actually, that was the one thing it supposedly fixes, is supposedly the weakest part of the game was the scanning, and so it has changed that mechanism in the game.
It's accelerating the scanning?
I don't know specifically. I just heard that
I'm going to have to
it is
watch
altering.
the video about the video.
Yeah, and they said that was the feedback was that was people's least favorite part of the game.
I felt that 2 players, it was hard to really fill in the scanning.
So maybe at 4 players it was not, and so maybe that's what they changed. Maybe they
Balanced
scaled
it out.
somehow. Yeah, and so that's ring that bell that in my head there that was one of the things they fixed in it, and I think the new mechanism they added helps fix the scanning part of the game. But anyway, so I think that SETI is harder to play just because you have so many options. You can really get AP with SETI just because you can do everything pretty much at any time. Like I said, there's obviously better times to do certain things depending on the cards you have or whatever. But Minnefer, even though I think there's more mechanisms and more stuff going on, I like a lot the way that it, and I beat this dead horse here, but the way that it really does on your turn, you aren't looking at the whole board. You can't really do anything you want to do on the board. You've got these couple of things on your personal board that have set you up for what you're going to do on the big board for your next couple of turns. And so I like that it reins it in a little bit. It's a little less AP.
Just look at the flowers, Rob.
Yeah,
Just look
there
at the
you go.
flowers.
Pow! Anyway.
SETI, Space Agencies, an expansion for SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, introduces powerful asymmetric organizations, each with unique abilities. Okay, so there's some asymmetry.
Oh, it does. Asymmetry, it added that. That's right.
That's probably why you got excited.
Yeah.
Each of
I
the
love
unique
some
special
asymmetry.
abilities, strategic advantages, and starting conditions that redefine how you approach the search for alien life.
It adds a prelude. That's right.
Oh, does
It does. It's put some stuff
says
on the
quick
board
start
already.
cards.
There
There
you
it
go.
is.
Yep. Mhm.
The quick start cards designed for use with the organizations let you skip the slower opening round
Yep.
and dive straight into the action. They introduce an extra layer of asymmetry during setup and can be used to further accelerate games in lower player count. I like that already.
Yep.
Okay.
Everything I'm hearing so far is good. Yeah, I'm liking it. So, yeah, I knew it added a few new things, but it didn't seem like it overcomplicated. It actually is making the start of the game better.
Because the scanning was hard with 2 players, like
Right.
getting.
Making the scanning better. It gives you some asymmetry. Yeah, I think this is really. I already have SETI number 1, so it's gonna be hard to move above number 1.
Expansion introduces signal tokens, a subtle but meaningful new mechanism that enhances scanning efficiency.
There you go. Yeah.
So you're enhancing scanning efficiency. You're getting a prelude quick start cards to get you right into the game, and then you're getting asymmetric powers.
Yep. And then a couple new alien races that do what alien races do. So yeah.
CGE putting out some good stuff here.
Yeah. Between this and the Arnak stuff, and I mean, I was so tempted. Daryl selling the Arnak with all the expansions, and I was like, oh man, I don't own Arnak. But I told him, I was like, Carlos owns Arnak with pretty much everything, so I'm gonna restrain myself instead of buying everything on your list. There's a few games.
I think I have all the expansions,
Yeah.
and I ordered the big box.
Yeah.
They did confirm in the video that anyone who pre-ordered the big box is not going to be impacted by any increase in price. What you bought is what you bought.
Yep.
And that they're printing extras, so they'll have extra ones for retail.
Yep.
So that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Excited about that. But that SETI is going up in price.
Oh,
They're
is
saying SETI is going up like 10%.
Yeah. Well, it is for now, at least.
There's a lot in that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a big box. It's a heavy box. I know you
Yes.
picked that up before everything
I
was.
think it was
punched.
over 6 pounds.
Yeah,
it was a heavy box.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of cardboard in there. So, what else is going on in the news? Anything else? I know we're getting late here, but
No,
yeah.
that's really all I've been minding.
Yeah, that was the big one. CG made some announcements, but there was nothing that caught my attention more than the SETI thing.
No, they announced new games in there, some lighter fare that just doesn't get my attention.
Yeah.
I was focused in on the Arnak, like I wanted to hear about the Arnak box.
Yeah.
I was surprised about the SETI thing, to be honest. I wasn't like you. I wasn't expecting it so quick, but I was pleasantly surprised, and then I knew I would look into it further, so I'm glad we did.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure they'll again, SETI, just those alien races. They can keep.
I thought that was going to be the
printing those,
easiest piece.
Oh yeah, they could keep printing those for all day. You may end up eventually with just maybe their next expansion, just another couple more alien races. I think that'd make a lot of people happy. Make it.
But I was fine playing the game without the aliens. Like, I wanted to
I know.
scan
Yeah, you didn't like
and
the extra
orbit.
extra stuff.
And then, like, crap, the aliens are coming. Oh, I felt like Will Smith.
The games I'm playing, everybody's pushing to get the aliens out. Let's see what the aliens are. Let's see what they are. So
Up yours.
Will.
Oh, man. All right. OGG.
Oh yeah.
Not a lot going on because the work was heavy.
Yeah, I'm not watching
I did get to watch Jurassic World again.
I want to see the.
I've been playing the Dinogenics on BGA,
Oh,
so
yeah, there
I
you
got
go.
to watch Jurassic World again, and
itch
that
for
was
that.
enjoyable.
Yep.
It was fun. I watched it with my 14-year-old, who he hasn't watched it in years. So for him, it was like watching it all over again. He forgot how much fun that version, that episode of Jurassic Park is.
I watched. Had the family watch Tomorrow War. Is it the one with Chris Pratt? It actually
Yes.
It had some buzz when it first came out, and then I guess it kind of flopped. Although
I don't call it a flop.
I am
I
DBing it before
enjoyed
4.5
it.
stars. Yeah, I mean, it like disappeared. I never heard anything about it, and then so
But I don't think it was in theaters. I thought that was a straight
it
to
may have been
streaming.
straight to stream. Yeah,
Which those movies don't tend to hold on to
buzz.
but I thought that was a great fun
I thought
film.
it was fun. Yeah, we watched it. We liked it. It was like, oh, hey, that was pretty cool. There was obviously some big parallel paradoxical things that if for the geeks out there, it's like, that couldn't have happened because that and the thing, and he met his daughter and whatever. But yeah, spoiler, sorry.
The statutes of limitations
it's been
are
out
up.
for how many years? So yeah, it's been a little.
I love the whole like these are normal people.
Yeah.
Like we're like okay, you're drafted into this battle.
Yep.
It's like okay, I'm an insurance guy. Here's a gun.
Like 50 years in the future, yeah. You got like moms and stuff, yeah, with guns. And how do you pull this trigger? Oh, and shooting, yeah, shooting stuff.
They were more like all cannon fodder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically, yeah. There was something. What was it, $1,000 a week they were taking or something?
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
fun film. I
was
gotta
fun.
watch that one again.
Yeah, it was good.
Chris Pratt.
I liked it. First time I'd ever seen it.
Yeah, look, it's a Chris Pratt evening.
There you go. Yeah.
Jurassic World.
It was
Tomorrow War.
It was in my queue, so I was like, "Hey, here's one. Let's just watch it." So anyway, but yeah, what else?
I'm caught up on Rookie. They had
are
a
you?
recent episode yesterday.
Nice.
Well, last week's episode was just a dud. It was.
Oh, really?
This week's episode gets us back on track.
Better.
Much better episode. So enjoying the Rookie. Looking forward to watching this week I think the last episode of Good American Family. So I'm on the tail end of that. I am not liking this whole dripping of shows. Like I want the whole show loaded up. I want to just blow through the whole thing. Having to wait week by week has been rough.
I got a new phone, and so we were at the Verizon store, and there was an ad there about switch over to Netflix, because we've been at Netflix for years. Switch over to Netflix, and it includes Max. I was like, oh, okay, well, so we talked to him. Hey, what's the price difference? Oh, no, exactly the same. You just do it through us. You don't even have to let Netflix know. As soon as we sign you up under ours, it sends a thing to them. Like 10 minutes after they did it, they activated us through Verizon. Netflix had sent us a thing. Hey, we see you switched to Verizon. We'll switch your billing and whatever. So we're still paying exactly the same amount. It adds,
Just comes through the phone bill.
yeah,
though.
it comes through the phone bill, and it's got Max attached to it, which we didn't. One of the few we didn't have before. So now, Last of Us is at the very top of my list. I got to watch Last of Us. Big fan of the video game. So my daughter's back. I mentioned Amy is back for the summer. She's dying to watch Last of Us. She likes the zombie apocalypse movies, so shows. So we're gotta get into that. So they started season 2. I think they're 3 episodes into season 2. So we got to blast through season 1, get caught up, so we can start watching that. But that'll probably start next week. So
Andor is going on right now.
Yeah.
I think episode 3 has dropped, 3 or 4.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
But I'm waiting. Like I just want to.
Want to do it all at once?
I'm tired of this whole having to wait till next
You're
week.
afraid of hearing something?
I'm the kind of guy that like I want the spoiler. Like I don't
Okay.
care. Like tell me how it ends.
Okay.
I'll look it up myself online if I need to.
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about spoilers.
I watched half of season 1, and I told you I guess we didn't make it to where it starts really getting good. So I told the wife, I was like, we got to go back. We got to watch it now. We got to.
It's good.
Tough out those first 4 episodes or whatever, so that we can get into it. But yeah, they said IMDb actually just did a rating a couple weeks ago of everything Star Wars related, the movies, the shows, everything in the whole history.
And ranked and stacked them.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back was number 1, which probably isn't a big
Makes sense.
surprise. The Andor series is number 3.
Wow.
Out of all the Star Wars canon, everything out there, they ranked everything. Ahsoka, Mandalorian was all on there.
It's on IMDb.
And Andor, yeah.
I gotta look that up.
And Andor was number 3. So
It makes sense. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was surprised. It was 2 movies. In front of it was Empire, and then one of the other 2
Rogue One?
originals.
Oh, the originals. Okay.
Yeah. And then there was it was like 3 or 4 movies after that. So it was by far the highest ranked of all the series. So
It was so gritty. It was so well done.
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting, like I say, to the good part. We watched it, and I don't know. I fell asleep during one of them, so I probably got lost.
Well, you're building up character, and
Yeah.
you know, he's not part of the Rebel Alliance at that time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
You got to see what turns him. Like that's so cool.
yeah. And I just put the Penguin on my list of things to watch. So I gotta.
I know Wayne continues to talk about that one.
Yeah, Wayne keeps talking about. So that's definitely one I got to see. So that's what's coming for me. But yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot of TV the last couple of weeks, so I'm gonna be diving back into that. So.
All right, folks.
Anyway.
Well, that gets us through another episode of board games and other nonsense.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
We will be back next week, Thursday
will.
night.
Yep.
Make sure to share with your friends. Let them know what you found.
Yep.
How you found us. Questions, comments, call. Like the phone line's off. It's gonna go to voicemail. Call, leave a message. Tell us what your thoughts are. If you don't want to do that, send us an email, beansanddice@gmail.com.
We'll read it on air.
Yeah, we'll read it on air. We'll answer your questions. Contribute if you're not able to call live during the show. Leave a voicemail. Send an email with a question. We'll gladly contribute back.
Yeah.
I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob. Push that button.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.